let's do this one last time.
I've been playing on fire. I am unstoppable.
They beat tough people. We beat even tougher people.
Looking forward to it.
I'm falling more in love with the dates.
We don't plan to relinquish it lightly.
Damn it, we have all the horses.
Ted, do you believe you have a soul?
What did you think I would do at this moment when you're standing before me with tears in your eyes? That answer your question?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Fanzone Debate. We're here for a big title match at Duel the Fates number 2. This is the first match of the event, kicking it off. I'm Tim. Hey, what's up? I got a couple great gentlemen here with me to judge this one. But first, before we talk to them, I'm going to talk about what's going on here. We got Adelaide Spence, the champion, going up against Brian Michaels. Adelaide cemented their legacy in Fanzone Debate. They've been consistently getting better, and they won the belt. They beat Joe to take the belt right out of his hands, and now it's theirs. And they have a chance to defend it against the former champ, Brian Michaels. Two-time champ? Two-time champ? I want to say two-time champ. One-time champ. I'm getting right. One backstage. One-time champ. Multiple-time challenger, Brian Michaels. So I think this is probably going to be Spence's biggest opponent yet. I think this is going to be their biggest challenge. If they can beat Brian today, that's huge for their legacy and the legacy of their name in this game. Like I said, I got two great guys here. Robert, how are you, my friend? And what do you think of the matchup of Spence versus Brian? I know you were watching the Joe versus Spence one really closely. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, Swellio, Tim. I just made that up. Copyright.
I like it.
No, this is interesting. This is great because it's like they're people who are diametrically opposed to how they necessarily approach what they do, but they're kind of really similar because in my estimation, when I've debated both of them, they're kind of the scariest people that we have left on the roster. So it's nice to have people of that intensity, even though their styles are different. So they approach it different ways, but they have the same sort of volume and chutzpah. So looking forward to that. It'll be fun to see.
Chutzpah, I like that. Mr. Menchaca, welcome, my friend. How are you? And what do you think of this matchup? We haven't seen Brian in this ring in a while. Are you excited to see that?
Yeah, absolutely. Was here last time. Adelaide won the belt. Very good match. Very good journey. Kind of getting there now, and now facing, I think as Robert put it, probably one of our best players on the roster, Brian Michaels, old grizzled vet, getting a bit of new school versus old school here. Should be fun to watch.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, let's get into it. Here's how it's going to work. Each player, well, not each player. The one player drafted 3 categories, the other drafted 2, and we gave them questions. They're going to debate them tonight before our very souls. So each player is going to get a 1-minute opening, followed by a. I think. Am I the only one that doesn't see Brian?
I don't see him.
All right. We have Brian. And anyway, they're each going to get a 1-minute opening, followed by a 5-minute freeform, followed by a 1-minute closing at the end of the debate. Mark, Robert, and I will write on our boards who we thought won the debate. 2 out of 3 votes will win you a point. First player to 4 points will win the match because this is a title match. Adelaide, Brian, any questions or anything you want to say to each other? Any trash talk?
I'm very scared. Have a good game.
I'm just happy not to be debating Kirk.
Oh, aren't we all? All right, let's get into it. We love you, Kirk. I was just joking. Don't hurt me. Anyway, all right. Let's get into it, starting with the first question. This was drafted by Adelaide in the category of comedy. Your question is, which fake movie inside of a movie would you most want to actually see?
Phenomenal question.
I've
Great
been
question.
thinking about this question ever since you said, hey, can I draft movies about movies? And I said, yup. So I'm very excited about this. Adelaide, you have 1 minute to open your argument when you start talking.
The 14 Fists of McCluskey, featured in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, stands as a monumental war epic. Famous movie producer Marvin Schwartz adores the film, framed as something akin to The Dirty Dozen. On top of co-starring Van Johnson, Salma Neo, and Rod Taylor, our lead actor is the movie star Rick Dalton. By Tarantino's own admission, his biggest inspiration for Dalton was Burt Reynolds, and the one scene we see of the film is Dalton using the flamethrower we see him use in the climax of the film to decimate a room full of Nazi commanders, evoking similar imagery to Inglourious Basterds, a very intentional choice by Tarantino. Plus, Sergeant Mike Lewis, as played by Dalton, looks amazing wearing a sick-ass eye patch. In summation, this is the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood version of Burt Reynolds, giving his best Snake Plissken impersonation, starring in the inspiration for Inglourious Basterds with some of the best character actors of the 1960s, providing for an experience that would age perfectly for modern viewers. Time.
Oh, all right. Let's move over to Mr. Michaels. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
So in The Fall Guy, we see the production of and eventually the full Comic-Con trailer for a sci-fi action blockbuster film called Metal Storm, starring Jason Momoa. It's described as a sci-fi love story, epic in scale, and in it our hero heads to a desert planet, befriends the locals, falls in love with a woman, and eventually puts himself at the center of a fight for freedom against this tyrannical ruler. It has Momoa going full Momoa, and fictional actress Iggy Starr, who's a badass one who can handle a sword. It's directed by Jody Moreno, who started out as a camera operator, became a DP, and is now getting a chance to use those skills to direct her own film. So you know it's going to look amazing. Best of all, throughout the film, we see the focus on practical stunts, epic battles, hand-to-hand combat, vehicular action, including a world record-setting barrel roll, all handled in the film and in the fictional film by 87 North, which is the company behind the action in the John Wick franchise, Bullet Train, Atomic Blonde, and all those other films. Metal Storm is like a mix of Dune and Star Wars and Mad Max rolled into one. All three great franchises to be compared to, and that's a recipe for a film that I would love to watch on the big screen.
Okay. All right. I already forget the name of both of your fake movies, but The Fall Guy versus Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 5 minutes when one of you starts talking. I will throw up the 1 minute warning when the time comes, and you know the gist. Don't make me sad. Okay, 5 minutes.
I love that you say we want to see it on the big screen, because I think that is the biggest fallacy in your movie. In the universe, we're looking at a movie that has like $200 million put to it, given to a first-time director that's basically billed as a star vehicle for Aaron Taylor Johnson. Jason Momoa is literally thrown at the last minute through some fuck-ass editing that no one cares about. That is the recipe for The Gray Man or Red Notice, some bullshit Netflix movie that all of us forget about in about 2 months. Yes, you have to focus on practical stunts, but with movies like 2011's The Thing, that could be edited out. That could be CGI'd over. There is no evidence that's actually going to make a quality product. You've basically given me John Carter as a Netflix original. Nothing about that is interesting. And even yourself, you're calling it Dune, Star Wars, and Mad Max. It's incredibly derivative. Nothing about it is interesting or engaging.
Everything you try to compare it to, you've basically offset yourself, because you talked about the first-time director, but then you use things like Gray Man and Red Notice and John Carter, which are not first-time directors at all. You talk about how, it's going to look like Netflix, and it's going to have, because Netflix movies all have that like CG look. This is using all practical stunts. It's going to look all natural. The fact that it's first-time director, who was also a cinematographer. The first movie by cinematographer Jan de Bont was Twister, and then Speed. The first movie by Barry Sonnenfeld was Addams Family. They wanted to do the Men in Black movies. These are all blockbuster hits. These are great movies. Yours, we don't know hardly anything about. We barely have a glimpse of it. We see one scene in the movie with one cheesy one-liner, and you have built in your mind this whole thing about what this movie is about. We don't even know what this movie is about. I don't even know what the 14 Fists of McCluskey means. What's that fucking title even mean?
That's just fun as shit. Okay, you're nitpicking, the title of a 60s movie. That's so weird. When your biggest defense of your movie is, no, what you said, no. You're not, I don't feel like you're making a constructive point against when everything shown in the film builds against the point of it. It is a first-time director who's given that much money. Historically speaking, you're saying, like, oh yeah, that's been great in the 80s and the 90s. In the modern era of filmmaking, this is set in the 2020s. That has happened to millions of directors, and they always just make the absolute shittiest product.
You haven't given me one example. You have a bunch of examples from Netflix movies that weren't first-time directors and from first-time directors that were in the past.
By the studio to be fully controlled. This is someone who makes no interesting decisions of her own until the star somehow has a whole ass heist going on in the background. On average, this movie is going to be forgettable schlock that is on the Netflix top 10 for like 2 weeks, and then it's gone forever. You do not care for this.
If you want to talk about the quality of the
most
movie,
prolific producers in Hollywood literally takes a night to himself and gets a fine glass of cognac, a big ass Cuban cigar, and treats himself. We know it's a good movie. Yours is a Hall H trailer.
One of the finest producers in Hollywood. This fictional producer, the only person who actually is interested in Rick Dalton at this point, or praises this movie, is the guy who's trying to get him to go over to Italy and make these B movies because he's not much of anything.
Oh yeah,
as far as everything, you want to talk about quality. You know, you talk for a long time. I'm talking.
Westerns.
So you don't talk about the quality of the movie. Everything in your movie, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, points to the fact that this movie is fucking awful. Okay, Dalton is embarrassed by it and apologizes for it. He says, "I hope the Rick Dalton double feature wasn't too painful for you in the misses." His career following that, after he did that movie, he had to start doing guest spots on TV shows, which is like purgatory for actors at that time because TV was not considered at the same level like it is now. And so, and then he had to go overseas to make any movies in Italy because everything in this movie implies that this movie was not very good.
I think calling Rick a bad actor explicitly ignores the narrative of the film. He was a great actor. That's why he's starring in these massive films. And that's why they wanted him for TV in the first place. He does begin to dive into alcoholism and depression and everything after this movie. This is still at the height of his powers. He's still beyond just a movie star, a great actor. And as we see at the end of the film, when Julia Butters compliments him, he's on an upswing. He's finding himself. He's inspired. That is the Rick.
But that's not this movie we're talking about. You're talking about the upswing of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He's an alcoholic on the set of Bounty Law because he feels like he's given up. But during the 14 Fists of McCluskey, the title of the movie, he's giving it his all. He's giving a Brad Pitt performance in Glorious Bastards because he is locked in.
You aren't seeing him give anything in 14 Fists of McCluskey. You're seeing him give his all in these TV shows and shit. And I just want to say, you keep wanting to compare this in the opening. You said several times, talk about Quentin Tarantino and Inglourious Bastards and comparing to Inglourious Bastards. This is not going to be Inglourious Bastards. This is not going to be a Leonardo DiCaprio movie directed by Quentin Tarantino. This is a B movie directed by a B movie director and an actor who is kind of already on his way on the way up.
I don't think a B movie would hire literally Rod Taylor and Sal Mineo, who were two massive stars and very prominent actors in the 60s. A lot of money is going towards this to make the best quality possible. Yours is putting all the money in the world towards basically not even Tom Cruise.
The cost has nothing to do with anything. How about the fact that yours only shows about 15 seconds of a movie, so we don't even know what the rest of this movie is about?
Oh, God forbid I have to argue something that has less screen time than yours. Your whole movie.
To get an idea of the movie that you supposedly want to see.
It's, hey, here's a random person directing a random movie we don't care about, and we just see giant Jason Momoa at the end.
Phenomenal. Okay, we're going to start closings with Brian. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
When it comes to deciding which fake film I'd actually want to see, I have to go with the one I can actually tell what the film is about and what the whole thing looks like. With Metal Storm, I have plenty of information on which to base my excitement. The story, the action, the full trailer even. With the 14 Fists of McCluskey, we know virtually nothing. We have one snippet of one scene with a single cheesy one-liner. We don't know anything about the plot or anything about it except for the title that makes no sense. On top of that, within the film in which the world exists, all signs indicate it was awful, as I already talked about. Remember, this film does not just star Leonardo DiCaprio. It's not Quentin Tarantino. It's not Inglourious Bastards. It is a B movie, as I already discussed. Metal Storm, however, within The Fall Guy, is portrayed as audiences are stoked to see, and the full trailer for it receives an uproarious, enthusiastic reaction at Comic-Con, Hall H. It's a crowd-pleasing tentpole blockbuster that devotes Mad Max, Dune, and Star Wars. Derivative? No, it's reminiscent of those kind of things because a lot of these blockbusters are similar. If Metal Storm were real, I would be their first show opening day.
Okay, let's go over to Adelaide. You have 1 minute when you start.
Brian is trying to pitch you something that is basically only going off of a trailer shown at Hall H. If people like, in a vacuum, sure, then you have Suicide Squad or the Spiderwick Chronicles. Who gives a shit? I'm going off of a scene in a movie. And yes, it is just a singular scene, but it stands out. We're coming out of it being like, holy shit, that was really interesting. I wish we had more of that. The characters in the film are saying, wow, that was a great time. Even Rick Dalton, when he's speaking down about it, is because he hates himself, not the film, not the work that he's put in. At the end of the day, Brian's pick is something that we are seeing the context of the making of the film, not the quality of the film itself. When we actually see what's going on in the film, it is a shaddily put together production that is a It's a vehicle for criminality, for Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, who literally, his character name in the movie is Space Cowboy. No name, his name is Space Cowboy. That's dumb. I'm so sorry. By the end of the day, it's a vehicle for him to get money and do crime, whereas mine is a star vehicle for one of the biggest actors in Hollywood today. I would love to watch that.
Okay. Let's bring in the judges. Mark, what color should I use?
Orange.
White.
Oh, not orange. They go red.
Not orange, he says. He just totally shot Robert down.
I mean, I'm not using it, but I love it. It just stains my board terribly.
It's the worst color in the rainbow, like by far.
Whoa.
Rainbow.
I went to a college. It was one of my
Markman
colors.
Chaka.
Well, I understand why he thinks that, because it's the color
Yeah.
he despises.
Coming soon to YouTube near you, Markman Chaka in his 8-part series on the rainbow.
Can we have a debate on what's the worst color of the rainbow?
Oh,
It is orange. 100% orange is the worst color.
I go with yellow.
I would go with indigo because I still don't understand it.
I love a rainbow. Okay.
There it is.
Thank you, Robert. All right. Great opening fight. I loved this. I loved the intensity. I loved the passion. It was good. I really, at the end, I didn't expect Spence to say it, but when Brian was like, I'll be there opening night, I really wanted to be like, yeah, but you have A-list and you go to the theater every Thursday. Whatever.
It's like Payson saying, oh, I'm going to watch it. No shit, you will, dude.
I'll watch anything.
I did go with Brian. I thought Brian handled this really well. I loved Spence's opening. I liked what they were going for with their movie and kind of pitching it as this, it's got the star power of the time and everything. And the little bit we see of it and what the characters say about it is really exciting. But I thought Brian did a really good job of convincing me that that was a B movie that nobody actually liked, and that his movie would be freaking awesome. So I went with Brian. Mark, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I agree. I also went with Brian. I feel like the takedowns of what Team Fitz McCluskey, I think, just kind of what sealed it for me. It just, I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm not sure if I'd want to see either of these movies. Like, during you guys talk about them, like, I mean, do whatever. But I think just in general, the Maelstrom just found it, or whatever the hell the movie's called. It's like just sounds like a slightly better time.
All right, and Robert.
I felt like this debate had the most comparisons of movies to other movies, which I guess makes sense because it's movies inside movies, and we're incepting into a whole bunch of movie things that I don't understand, and I just got lost in the sauce. Where am I? Oh, I'm doing this. There's a lot of things said. I liked how it is that they argued against each other. There was one line, though, that really stuck out to me. I wrote it here. It says, everything points to this movie being horrible, which is why Rick Dalton became an Italian B-movie actor. So I went with Into the Brian's Den. I'm running out of Brian puns. Ooh. This is going to be bad for me by the end. Yeah, I just thought that line really stuck with me. In addition to the idea that everything that Spence was saying, Brian had a counter for. So, Brian.
Into the Brian's Den. I like it. All right. Brian wins the first point. We're going to move on to the next question. Lots of game left. If this will, okay, apparently I can't move there it is. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Next question is in the category of directors. Your question is, what is the most rewatchable scene in a Steven Spielberg Indiana Jones movie? So nobody can pick Dial of Destiny. Okay, Brian, we're starting with you. You have 1 minute when you start talking.
The most rewatchable scene is a scene where every moment keeps you fully engaged, beginning to end, no matter if you've seen this movie for the first time or you've watched it for the 50th. One scene that does that is the truck chase in Raiders of the Lost Ark. After escaping the Well of Souls, where the Ark was found, Indy learns the Nazis have loaded it onto a truck bound for Cairo. He jumps in the horse, proceeds to take on not only a full truck of soldiers, but 3 other cars full of enemies as well. From the moment he takes off on the horse to the moment he drives away with the Ark, every moment in the scene is filled with action excitement. fighting with the driver over to maintain control of the truck, brushing off the Nazis climbing from the back using roadside trees and bluffs. And of course, when he's thrown through the windshield, tries hanging on to the bending hood ornament and grill, then has to drop under the truck to avoid being crushed. We get one of the all-time classic practical stunts as he works his way under the moving truck to the back, drags behind it holding onto his whip, and climbs back onto the truck and into the cab, where he throws the driver through the window, who tries to do the same but is instead run over. It's all killer, no filler. It's a showcase of stunt work, great scoring by John Williams, great direction by Spielberg, and great acting by Harrison Ford.
Okay, let's move over to the champ. Adelaide, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
The most rewatchable scene in any movie ever, not just the parameters of this question, is Indy's introduction and the retrieval of the idol in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He begins by emerging from the shadows to save Sala's life. Indy remains calm through the whole journey, removing tarantulas from him and Sala, triggering a spike trap with ease, and navigating the dark room to finally approach the idol. His face aglow in a golden hue. He grabs the idol, but the weight is off. The walls begin collapsing. Sala traps him behind a pit, but it doesn't last long. Indy makes his way across and finds Sala's bodies, impaled without our hero's support. Indy retrieves the idol, turns around, and sees a massive boulder barreling towards him, and he runs for safety. This is an absolutely riveting 7 minutes, perfectly balancing suspense, action, and levity. It's a perfect short film. It tells you everything you need to know about our hero and keeps you gripped from the first viewing to the 100th. This is the exact way, not just to introduce a character. If you're thinking about Indiana Jones, this is it. You start the movie and you're just locked in. This is a perfect scene. And if you're going to think about Indiana Jones, you're going to want to watch this scene specifically.
Time. All right. 5 minutes when one of you starts talking.
I'm beginning to wonder if you watched this movie once, much less rewatched it, made it rewatchable, because Sala isn't in the scene. Sala comes in the movie halfway through the movie. You're thinking of Satipo, played by Alfred Molina. So you have the completely wrong character. My problem with the opening scene, I love the scene.
Okay,
Great,
I wrote it wrong in my thing, but it's
a great introduction to the character, a great introduction to the movie, to the whole franchise. My problem is when you're looking at rewatchable, you want something that keeps you engaged from beginning to end. A lot of this scene is based on building tension and waiting to see what happens. Where rewatchability, when you've seen it like several times after that, it's not, the tension is gone. You're just waiting for the next big thing to happen. You're waiting for, each trap to happen. You're waiting for him to get the idol, waiting for him to get to the boulder. And the stuff in between doesn't hold your attention as well as a scene that just has good action stuff throughout.
I think that's ridiculous for you to say this about building tension when your scene is literally just tension. That's all that it is. So you're sitting there being like, action. So on your 100th viewing, it's like, it's a flat line. There's not any increase. There's not these strong emotions crashing over you. It's just pure adrenaline, and I don't think that's that great. When it comes to rewatching something, I want a variety of emotions. I want to feel something, and I want the highs and lows. Yours is just straight, just going one tone, and that's it. I don't have any tension when, oh my God, is he gonna? Can he go under the truck successfully? Oh my God, he just got shot in the shoulder. What's going to happen? We know the tension. Relying it on, oh, you've seen it before. That doesn't matter. When we're sitting there, we're enjoying the journey. The journey of yours is one thing. The journey of mine is many things all colliding together into a beautiful short film that works entirely on its own.
No, mine is many things. Mine has the action sequences.
Context.
Mine has the action sequence. You're going to let me talk. You've talked for 30 seconds straight. So mine has the action throughout, yes, but it also has bits of comedy. I mean, even just the very beginning when he says, I'm making this up as I go along, and then later on when they're running over, there's lots of comedy sprinkled in. There's drama mixed in. It's great throughout. The John Williams score throughout my scene is so great because it uses so many of the themes and it's so present, and it's some of his best score that incorporates that. In his score in that opening scene, obviously John Williams is phenomenal, but it's just very atmospheric. So it's just kind of background. It's very, very mellow, and you don't get that excitement that you get from my scene, which helps with the rewatchability.
That's insane. Again, our movies are the same. We have the same score. Mine has the epic trills that you're looking for in a John Williams scene, and it all works.
It doesn't use most of the score in that. There are no themes.
You're not giving me specific. You're just saying, oh yeah, emotions are there. The entirety of my scene is this couple of mixed
anger,
emotions.
frustration,
they're so thrilling,
relief.
Thank you for saying words like you're listing actors in a movie. I want to point out, though, I think the reason that your scene is not rewatchable is that it requires prior context. You're saying, oh, after we just get the Well of Souls, or oh, after the Nazis loaded the Ark onto the truck. You're giving all of this pre-context into a scene that you are just jumping into. Mine requires none of that. If I'm going to rewatch a scene, I want to go in cold and I want to be locked in. You're just like, all right, where am I in the movie again? Maybe? I think that's right. Is it that one or that one? Like, it's not, the rewatchability means that you need to have the full emotional stake and investment in the movie from where you're starting your clip, and yours does not have that.
No, rewatchability would mean if I'm going to sit down and watch a scene, I'm going to watch a scene that's going to keep me engaged. Yours, if I'm going to watch your scene, it's going to be the introduction to character, introduction to this thing where it's like, yes, in the greater context of it, it works. But if you're going to watch just one scene, watching your scene alone is not going to be that exciting.
So you want exciting. You just want pure cocaine just running through your system, just going around at 100 the whole time. That's all that you're arguing. You're not arguing actual. Like,
not necessarily. I talked about the comedy, but I talked about lots of different things in my.
I said name examples, and you said, oh, here are these other emotions, like we're in fucking Inside Out too.
Oh, because I was responding to you talking about emotions. You never gave me time to pipe in, so I had to put that in
the dramatic weight of Satipo's actions about him taking the idol from Indy and immediately dying. The dramatic irony of that, as well as one of the most famous action set pieces in film history, him escaping the boulder. That is riveting. Mine has what your scene has, and then some.
That is exciting, but the problem is when you rewatch it, you're actually finding more flaws in your scene. Because when the very first came down, right, he could have gone underneath where the ramp, and he would have missed boulder was completely. Several times along the way, he could have jumped to the side, and he also could have gone out in the spot where the sunlight was shining through, set off the traps. He could have gotten out through there. Lots of ways he could have gotten away from this boulder, but he didn't.
So
which I love this movie. I'm nitpicking at it, but the fact is, as you rewatch it, you're finding more flaws. As you're rewatching mine, you are just enjoying the ride.
I think it's funny that you're playing cinema. Like, oh my god, he can do this. Oh, every
time I say something, all you say is, "Oh, I think it's funny," or "You're insane." You don't actually have responses to mine.
I do have responses. I'm telling you that your scene is entirely hinging on you purely want action. I think there is no pure character.
It's an action scene, so I'm describing why this one is rewatchable.
You're saying that you want it removed from a vacuum when it is best in a vacuum. When you're understanding the stakes of the film, you have the background of Indiana Jones as a character. You want Transformers is what you want. You want big explosions. You want guns going off. There's no weight or emotional investment in your scene that you're looking for. I have that.
Time. Okay. All right. We're gonna start with Spence. Spence, you have 1 minute when you start talking to close.
I think what makes my scene perfectly rewatchable is the idea of it being a perfect short film. It's everything you want in a story condensed to a perfect 7 minutes with no filler and no alterations that I would make. I think Harrison Ford's performance is absolutely fantastic. I think that John Williams' score that's playing over the whole scene is a perfect mood setter. And again, it has the complexity. It is not just a singular emotion. There is the comedic weight of Indiana Jones. Oh, he only has 2 spiders. And so Tipo turns around and, oh my god, there's so much fucking tarantulas. It's terrifying. But it's kind of funny. He's just whatever. And then the dramatic irony of after Satipo takes the idol, he dies immediately after being out of Indiana Jones's control. That is a perfect introduction to the character. But also, as you're rewatching the scene, you're there. The emotional journey that you're on with Indiana Jones, it's 1-to-1. You are following him through that journey. I think that it is perfect filmmaking done by Spielberg that needs no context. It doesn't need any kind of like external knowledge. You go in, you hit play, and you will not blink for the next 7 minutes of absolute perfection.
Time. Okay, let's go over to Brian. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start.
This is one of those questions where the wording matters. We aren't looking for the best scene or the most emotional, which seems what you're stuck on in an Indiana Jones film. We're looking for the most rewatchable, a scene you can go back to again and again and not once ever feel the urge to grab the remote and skip ahead to the next good part. That's my problem with the opening temple scene in Raiders. It's a phenomenal scene and it features great moments, but because of the kind of scene it is and the pacing of it, if you've seen it before, the time in between those moments is no longer about building tension and anticipation like in a first-time watch. It's just waiting for the next specific peak moment that you remember. Once the truck scene starts, it doesn't stop. The engagement is constant. The action is some of the best in the series. John Williams' score and themes are featured far more prominently in the temple scene than in the temple scene, and it manages to inject moments of humor as well. The temple scene is a great introduction to Indiana Jones. But if I'm going to go back and rewatch just one scene from Raiders, it's not going to be the scene that introduces the character I already know for the movie to come that I've already seen. It's going to be the one that I can just enjoy as a self-contained scene full of fun, excitement, and great filmmaking.
Okay. Hoofda, the heat is on, as they say. I love it.
You need to be faster on that let them talk button, by the way.
When you said that, Maggie was sitting there. She goes, do your fucking job, man.
I want Maggie to take your place. Come on.
It was so funny. Oh man.
Great,
right.
Brian. You're great. No hard feelings.
It's a fucking game. I don't give a shit.
All right, Robert.
Man, don't feel bad about getting the wrong character name because even Harrison Ford in that scene calls him Sapito instead of Satipo, so he messed up in the movie too. So.
When Spence was doing their opening, I looked at Maggie. I'm like, Brian's gonna nail the shit.
I was in the letterbox scrolling. Okay, yeah, that's him. I just didn't scroll far enough to get the right ass name.
All right, Robert. Whenever you are ready, you may start us off.
Once upon a time, I debated Brian on an indie, like what was the most exciting action scene or something, and I chose the truck scene, and I lost that debate. Found it interesting he chose this one. I'm not going to let my emotions about the scene and how much I enjoy it cover what I'm going to say. Just saying, I thought that was an interesting choice. Yeah, very, very parsing out of what like rewatchability means. This was one of those like, let's look at a amalgamum of definitions of what rewatchability could mean. And we always talk about that because everybody always wants to find what's most perfect in a rewatchable film, or in this case, a scene. A lot of back and forth, a lot of hits, a lot of misses, I would say, relative to what I think is most important. There's something that stuck out, though, which pushed me to the person I'm going to pick. Do you guys, there's a guy who used to be part of Dwight Eisenhower's cabinet. His name was Adlai Stevenson. I went with Adelaide Stevenson. It's not the same, but it's close. I went with Adelaide. They said something about, and Brian sort of made a reference to it in his closing, which I didn't fully agree with. Something about self-containment and like context. And I like the thing that they said about like when you go into the truck scene, you need sort of context about things. It's exciting. It's kind of just balls to the wall, but you're missing some extra things about it that the idol scene sort of sets up at the beginning. And I did sort of go along with the idea of the score and Harrison Ford's performance and the self-contained like short film in the 7 minutes. So I went with that.
To be fair, you have context because it's a rewatch. Just saying.
Anyway, I went with Brian. Though I do think it was very close, and I agree with a lot of what Robert said. I just kind of I flip a little bit with what Robert was saying on like the self-containment and everything, because I do think Brian kind of painted the picture of like the scene. You don't need the context to enjoy it, and you can just watch it as an exciting action sequence, and it's really fun. And I liked that, you know, Spence was throwing out the like, what are the genre or what are the emotions or whatever, it's just cocaine or whatever, blah blah blah. And then Brian was like, he said like, no, I said there's comedy, there's this. Like, I thought that Brian deflected Spence's points pretty well. I do agree with Robert where I really liked Spence's whole like it's really exciting 7-minute short film, and has a lot of great moments in it. And I think Brian smartly didn't try to necessarily say that Adelaide's scene was shit or anything, but was just like, no, but you can, after rewatching it, and you can start to nitpick it, and there are things about it that aren't as good, whereas his, you can't quite poke those holes in. So I went with Brian, but this one was very close. Mark, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, that was a nice one. A lot of bickering, and I do enjoy the massive amount of bickering that is in this match so far.
You must miss Cody.
I did actually go with Adelaide on this one, for really a lot of the same reasons that Robert brought up. I think because I feel like just we both kind of went through these two different versions of rewatchability. I think ultimately I align more with what Adelaide was saying. about this, just a scene kind of existing in a vacuum, and you can just enjoy it like at any time. Like it doesn't matter.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So that means that Adelaide has tied the game. We are going to move on to the next question, which was drafted by Adelaide in the category of crime. Which classic film noir has the best ending? Oh no, that's just film noir. I thought I misspelled film. Anyway, Adelaide, you get to kick this one off. You have 1 minute when you start talking.
The ending of Stanley Kubrick's The Killing is absolutely perfect at capturing the futility of crime and the fallacies of the people who choose to commit them. These are desperate and flawed people who aren't exactly prepared to thoroughly think through their actions. By the time the heist is finished and Johnny is driving back from the racetrack, he is the only member of the heist crew left alive, and most of them shot each other, waiting for his return. He messily packs his suitcase with the $2 million, grabs his girlfriend, and runs to the airport. The suitcase must be checked baggage, so it's taken to a shuttle. While Johnny waits to board the plane, another passenger's dog is spooked and runs in front of the shuttle, causing the driver to swerve, and the suitcase falls open. For nearly 25 unbroken seconds, Kubrick lets us look at these $2 million blowing as the wind, as we sit with the lives lost over nothing. Johnny's girlfriend grabs his arm and tries to help him flee from the cops. She tells Johnny he has to run, and he responds, "What's the difference?" For once, he is without a plan, and so he turns around, helpless. It's the end of my time.
Okay. All right. Let's move over to Brian. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
1947's Out of the Past stars Robert Mitchum as Jeff Bailey, a former PI who had a past working for a mob boss, but has since tried to leave that life behind, starting a new life under a new name, running a small-town gas station. But as always happens, his past comes back to haunt him as his former employer, Whit Sterling, played by Kirk Douglas, tracks him down and drags him back into this web of blackmail and murder orchestrated by Kathy Moffat, the femme fatale of the film, who shot Whit and fled with his money years earlier. The climax comes when Jeff realizes Kathy has outmaneuvered everyone, murdering Whit and framing Jeff to take the fall. But he refuses to let her destroy the innocent life he tried to build and the people he knows, and doesn't want to affect his new girlfriend, Anne. So he orchestrates a final trap, placing a call before they leave to get away. They see the police roadblock on the road, and Kathy realizes Jeff's accepted his fate, betrayed her, and called the police. She shoots him, but is then herself killed in a hail of gunfire from police. And then back at the gas station, Anne asks Jeff's deaf-mute gas station assistant if Jeff was really going to run away with Kathy. He lies and nods yes, letting Anne believe the worst so she can let go of the past, cut ties with her tragic history, and walk away toward a more stable future with another man.
Time. Okay. All right. 5 minutes.
I just don't think your ending totally works. It hinges on emotional investment, and it's being carried by a character who has had maybe 5 minutes of screen time total in the whole movie. She is the last thing you've seen. Meanwhile, we spent the last 90 minutes with Jeff, who was already not a super engaging lead character, and Kathy, who was significantly more interesting, who has now died for the worst. Like, it's just not interesting.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. Only 5 minutes of screen time. Kathy is like a major character in the entire movie.
No, I'm saying Anne is the emotional weight of that scene.
I'm not talking about Anne. I was just kind of a little tag scene at the end. The ending was the whole climax of the scene where he basically gets killed and she gets her comeuppance. Because the fact of the matter is that in a film noir, people's choices matter. People meet their tragedy. Their fates are made by their own decisions. And this is the perfect example of that. The femme fatale gets her comeuppance. He gets comeuppance. Nobody gets away free. Nobody gets away with the crime. The problem with yours is The Killing, which I love that I got the chance to watch this. I really enjoyed the movie. But it kind of undermines the whole movie with the ending because it becomes almost like this slapsticky comedy thing at the end where the dog runs out and the suitcase breaks open and the money flies. And yes, they hang on to it for 25 seconds, which is not a good thing. They said it a little too long. Then they cut to him going, after it says the police come, he goes, "What's the difference?" Like, wah, wah. It just seems like a comedy end to ending that seems like more something like the Nobody's Perfect thing and something like It Hot.
Which is also one of the greatest endings of all time.
But it's not a film noir.
But I think you're painting this like very broad idea of it's goofy, which I think is totally misunderstanding the point of it. But also the film does have some levity. Like literally one of the main points of the film of like how the heist goes off is a dude just picking a fight in a bar, and he's like trying to goad this like big bodybuilder to start fucking throwing hands at people. It is funny. It has its funny moments. So I think that you saying that the dog or whatever undermines it, I think is both ridiculous and it doesn't even fit within the context of the film. When you're watching it, and I want to point out this 25 seconds, I think that the weight of it all, why, like when it's hanging so long, that's where it hits you. Truthfully, this is like 10 people who have died out of pure greed and determination, and it's just sitting there, blowing away, and no one will do anything to stop it. I think that's where the emotional weight of the film hits you of, this was for nothing. And I think that is incredibly satisfying.
I think just the
not
opposite.
rooting for
Any
these
emotional
people.
weight the movie had is lost by that ending because it just becomes so futile. But it wasn't undone by his greed or guilt or his own choices, or there weren't consequences for that. It has to do with a broken suitcase and a dog running out. He was a victim of coincidence. And film noir is not about that. Film noir, like this is what film noir has the best ending, and yours is, like I said, is more like a comedic ending. It undermines the film that comes before it.
I don't think that we should be like, what you're basically saying is like, oh, the criminal needs to be perfect. That they spent all this time like meticulously crafting their plan, and the whole third act is it going to shit.
And yours was until the end.
The second they get the money, everyone starts dying. The person who shot the horse dies. People in the bar don't get out alive, and they go to the warehouse and they'll start shooting each other. It is building up to this emotional state of the film, while yours
and then
is
it
so
throws away the
unsatisfying.
emotion.
Your film is so unsatisfying because the same thing happens with characters die, and then we continue. We continue with Anne because the ending of your film is Anne talking to the deaf attendant and him lying to her.
That is not just the ending. The whole thing. That's like saying the ending of Star Wars is just the award ceremony. That is not just the. That is a coda at the end.
The emotional climax of your film is relying on a character that we barely know. The opening of the film is him telling her about his history, and we don't see her again until the last scene. It is so.
That's false. We see her several times in the movie.
To rely on a random ass character for your emotional resolution, whereas mine relies on the lead, and he gives an incredible performance with a single line.
Okay, first of all, you're just giving false information saying we don't see her till the end of the movie. We see her several times throughout the movie. And yes, that is just a coda. That's a little something extra, but that whole thing is the ending. The fact of the matter is, you were talking about all this emotion in yours, but yours, whatever emotion it had, it throws away to have that little funny ending. Mine, it has weight and meaning because, like in film noir and what it's all about, these things are the consequences of their actions. Everything has to do with something that comes in the story. And yes, people die and the story goes on because the world doesn't just stop, especially when you're on the run from people trying to kill you, from heists that are going on. You can't just stop and say, oh, we got more than this person is dead. You have to move on.
You're trying to have your cake and eat it too. You can't be like, oh, yours is unsatisfying because it doesn't work out very well for everybody. But mine does.
I didn't say the problem was it doesn't work out. I said the problem was that yours doesn't work out because of a broken suitcase and a dog running out.
I think the lack of
coincidence
is what makes it so interesting. It's the dramatic irony of the fact that they could plan everything, but they couldn't plan this, and that's what makes it work.
They couldn't plan any of this fucking movie.
Time. Okay. All right, we're going to start with Brian for closings. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
Out of the Past is considered one of the greatest film noirs of all time, and it features a classic noir ending. People's choices determining their tragic fates, femme fatales, greed, betrayal, a noble act of redemption, and then the innocent girl from his new life getting the chance to actually live happily ever after, thanks to this boy lying to protect her from the truth. It's everything that great crime noirs are made of. The Killing is actually an excellent film, and like I said, I'm glad this debate gave me an excuse to finally watch it. But the ending is maybe the worst thing about it. It's everything noir is not, an ending built on coincidence and happenstance, rather than the culmination of the character's choices and actions. It throws away everything it's built up for basically a slapstick moment involving a dog and a cheap suitcase, and a comedic final line delivery of what's the difference. It undermines the great movie that preceded it by ending on this joke, and it just it just ends with a whimper. An ending that's more in line with comedy, like I said, with like Some Like It Hot. And it's not a serious crime noir ending. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Let's move over to Spence. You have 1 minute when you start.
Brian is categorically lying to you. No part of this movie is funny, nor is it trying to be funny. The idea of the resolution of the film is dramatic irony. It is the fact that we've been sent this entire movie following Johnny, who thinks that he is brilliant and has made a flawless plan with no problems, and the entire third act is the consequences of those actions and seeing that he is not as good as he thinks he was. And this is the final bit of pure unpredictability falling apart in front of him. And what's the difference is him accepting his fate as someone who did not succeed. out of the past is the entire ending. And yes, noirs are built on the fact that criminals cannot win. That's the point of the whole Hays Code. After their death, the ending of the film, the final moment that you are left sitting with, is Anne, who is an underdeveloped woman who was just seen as basically an accessory to Jeff, our lead character, and a deaf gas station attendant who Brian had spent no time explaining or even giving a character name to. You are ending your film that's put so much development into Jeff and Kathy that to end it on basically nobody's is really underwhelming and extremely disappointing for a film this good.
Time. Okay. Let's bring in the judges.
This is not a debate. Just want to point out that he's just referred to it in credits as the kid. He doesn't have a name.
Brian, have you seen how many other Kubricks are you missing?
Kubrick's?
Yeah.
I have seen some of the older stuff like
Killer's Kiss.
Killer's Kiss I haven't seen. I haven't seen Barry Lyndon. I think I've seen most of his other ones, honestly.
I was saying, I think if you're only missing the first two, you can skip those. Those are terrible. But this is the first
I just wanted
one.
to point out before we get started that Kevin Feige recently did an interview where he said that he has plans for the MCU through 2042.
2042, yeah.
I can announce that I do not have Fanzone plans through 2042. Let's continue.
2041.
You're just not as locked in.
Yeah, I'm not as locked in as Feige. Mark, I would like to start with you because that's how we always do it. Let's start with you. What do you got?
I mean, just wondering if Blade is going to come out by 2042.
Right.
This is an interesting debate. I think I don't know. This is the first time we've really talked about film noir as a category here, or not. Or I don't know. Maybe I just don't remember. Anyway, I had to go with Spence in this one. I like Brian's argument of trying to take apart the killing of like this doesn't feel like true film noir, but just in the sense of like just listening to the argument and just trying to digest like what's the better ending. I just think just as a whole, Spence just painted such a better picture of like why the ending of the killing is so good and just kind of what makes it good. And I think also Brian's main point was that, you know, it feels like a comedic scene and like nothing, and like and it doesn't really fit film noir. And I think kind of Spence had a perfect good point near the end of like, well, it's the one thing they couldn't plan for. It's good dramatic irony, and honestly, it's kind of the only thing I really need to hear from that point.
Okay, Robert.
I felt like this was like the most political debate, where both people looked us in the eye and said, "That person is lying to you." And usually one person does that, but the fact that they both did it with such, you know, eye contact and alacrity, verbally, really got to me. So I don't know. I had no concept of these movies. I mean, I know The Killing, sort of, but I have no concept of these. So I really just had to base everything on what people were telling me. People were telling me a whole bunch of things and how what I was being told was not true. So I tried to parse out everything. And I tried to think about, you know, what is noir, what makes a good ending, what character should be where, does that matter, how often they're there. There was something somebody said about like kind of what constitutes an ending and emotionality. So I went with, there's a famous 50 Cent album. I went with Get Rich or Die Brian. I went with Brian Michaels because I did go along with the idea of trying to undercut what it is The Killing's ending was, as opposed to what Brian's was, which seemed to come together a lot of different emotions and contexts that made sense for what Out of the Past was trying to do. So I went along with that journey, which is why I went with Brian.
Okay. I went with Brian. Spence, I do love you. I'm sorry. Because I don't...
Send me your Venmo. We can get this settled.
That was such a coho you just did.
I always feel bad when I do the everybody, but I judge it how I see it, and I thought Brian won this one pretty handedly, in my opinion. I like what Mark was saying. I don't necessarily disagree with, but I felt like Spence's shots at Brian's movie was all like the last 10 I haven't seen the movie, but from what I gathered, like the last like minute. And I thought the most influential thing Brian said in that whole fight was like, the ending of Star Wars isn't just the awards ceremony. It's the whole Death Star shebang. And that leads into that. And I felt like he supported that, talking about his ending. And while I agree that the undercutting of the killing did work for me, I thought like making it seem like a while it kind of ends on like a wah 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 type of thing, I don't necessarily agree, but I think Spence didn't do enough to me to negate that. I thought Brian did a really good job on this one. So Brian wins the point. This is fun. Everyone winning each other's points. This is exciting. All right. I'm sure we
I'm glad Spence picked more categories then.
Interesting. Sassy. Okay. Next category. Another category I'm excited about. Oh, hang on. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. I think we're all relieved. But let's get into the next question, which was drafted by Brian. I'm excited about this one too. I think this is going to be fun. It's the category of sci-fi. And your question is, which character in a time loop movie would you most want to be stuck in the loop with? I'm excited. This is going to be fun. Let's start with Brian. You have 1 minute when you start.
If I'm going to be stuck in a time loop and I have one person to choose to be stuck in there with, I'm going to look for two main things. A person who is fun and pleasant to be around, who I'm not only not going to mind spending this indeterminate amount of time with, but who I'm going to enjoy that time with. And two, someone who has already been in there for a long time and already been through the trial and error phase, who already knows the ins and outs of the day, the pitfalls to avoid, the joys to be found, everything that's going on, and can be my guide to getting the most out of it. Niles from Palm Springs fits both of those criteria. He's been there for decades. He knows everything. He's learned how to optimize that day in a variety of ways to get the most out of it. He knows what to avoid, what to do. He knows everything about everyone. And most importantly, he knows how he ended up there and the situation we're in. He's a fun guy to be around and has made an art out of enjoying this life of eternal leisure since we're stuck there. He's the ultimate wingman for getting the most out of the day you're stuck in. He's a great choice for someone who can be both your companion and your guide.
All right, time. Let's move over to Adelaide. I wonder what they're going to pick. 5 minute freeform, or 5 minute freeform. Jesus, 1 minute when you start.
Big shocker. I also picked the character from Palm Springs, but I picked Sarah. She is, the female lead in the film, Kristen Milioti. I think that she is the perfect ideal of someone who you want to be in a time loop with. Someone who is, incredibly fun. She knows where all the fun drinks are, all the cool drugs. She will dance with you. She'll party with you. She will spend the time with you and make it a joyous time. And also, she knows how to escape. There's a prolonged sequence in the film where she fully dedicates herself. We don't know how long. It could be weeks, could be years, towards becoming a master of quantum physics and getting the fuck out of the time loop. At the end of the day, in no time loop movie, our character's like, yeah, I'll stay here. I prefer this. You want someone who is driven to help you find a way out. And what Sarah has shown is that she will find a way no matter how hard to escape. And even while you are still there, every single day that we see her happen there, she is happy, she's having a good time, and she's constantly finding new ways to enjoy herself. And I think if it comes down to eternity, if I'm going to spend with Kristen Milioti, Sarah, she's a fun gal.
All right. I see no one picked Emily Blunt from Edge of Tomorrow. Interesting. Okay.
That was a possibility.
Yeah, I really thought Brian was going to pick that and be like, it's Emily Blunt. Of course I want to be. Anyway, 5 minutes when we start.
So I have several problems with what you said in your opening, because first of all, she's not that fun. You talked about how fun she is. She shows up, and first of all, she's nothing but questions and panic, which I understand when she first gets there. But then once she figures out the situation they're in, she's nothing but a constant doubter. You talk about she'll dance. She specifically says at one point in the movie, I don't dance. So she's not going to dance with you. And
she dances in the bar with him.
And most especially, you talk about how, she's going to find a way out. That'd be great if the question was, who do you want to help you escape a time loop movie? It's not. It's who do you want to be stuck in there with? Who do you want to spend the time with while you're stuck in the time loop? In this situation, we are stuck there. So that is who we're trying to decide to spend the time with.
That's great. I want to point out, because you're saying, oh, Niles has been in this time loop for decades. Multiple issues there. Number one, he trapped Roy. So if you're saying that he knows where he's at, oh, cool, we're at the wedding. J.K. Simmons will hunt you down. I have a list of things that have happened to Niles that will happen to you too the more time you spend with him. He gets hunted down naked. He gets electrocuted, waterboarding. Roy fills a pool with gasoline and burns
all
him
things
alive.
that might
All
be
of
fun
this
to
will happen
experience,
you
knowing that you're
as,
coming
as,
back
a-
from
as
it,
an
honestly.
accomplice. You want to be burned alive, you sick fuck? Are you good? Do you need a doctor?
If I know I'm coming back, yeah, sure. Do whatever.
Niles is a bad person. He is codependent and an open manipulator. He lies to Sarah's face saying that they never slept together. He coerces her. He takes advantage of her. And he also fully just bottomed for a random waiter. This dude will take advantage of you and fuck you by any means necessary. And he will get you drunk and he will leave you in the desert. He is a bad person openly. Sarah is a good person. Yeah, she fucks around. Yeah, she drinks too much. An exact quote in the film. But she is a good time. Everyone around her loves her besides her parents, who just don't support her. And honestly, I have a lot of friends whose parents don't support her.
I don't know where you get that everyone in the movie loved her except her parents, because everyone around her is kind of having the same experience with her. Plus, she slept with her sister's groom. So right there, she's betraying you. On top of it, she gets them tased.
I'm not related to her. It don't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. She's not reliable, and she's going to betray you. And in the end, she's going to end up abandoning you. Niles had to chase her down and be the one to bring them together because she just wanted to leave him. And you don't need left alone this time. The whole point is, who do you want to be stuck with? She doesn't want to be with you. She wants to be on her own. No matter what, she doesn't care about you. She just wants to get out, which in this situation, we are stuck in this time loop. We're not getting out, but all she's focused on is learning quantum physics. That's a ton of fucking fun, so that she can try to find her way out.
She doesn't leave him alone. She says, hey, I think I found a way out. And he says, no, I don't want to go. I want to be here. Because he is trapped. He wants to be drunk forever. He doesn't want to confront his emotions or the future outside of this, because dude's fucking 110,000 years old. He is terrified of the outside world. When you're walking into it, you're basically walking into his domain, and that is not a good thing. Again, the idea of him being in control, you are being followed by somebody who is constantly manipulating his environment. That's not somebody who I want to be with. That is not a positive.
If you're in a time loop and you know everything that's coming, you're going to be manipulating things as well. That's just the way it goes, because you have future knowledge.
And I think stuck in a loop is it's totally ignoring the intent of these movies, of these narratives. Never have they been singular in the loop. Yes, you're stuck with Sarah for a while until she finds a way out. I want to be stuck with somebody who is going to put the effort in to researching how to escape. I think if that option is there, Niles would never do it. He is happy in that malaise, in that hedonistic era of his life, and I don't want to be there for that when it always comes at my expense. He is singular. He only cares for himself. He only likes Sarah because he fucks her. He will only take care of you.
That's not true at all. He cares about people. She's the one that only cares about herself and getting out at all costs. He's the one who talks about when she decides there's no consequences. He says, no, pain is real. What they do to other people matters, because being a source of terror is not fun. He says, we remember what goes on. No, what we do matters because we remember it. She's the one who's trying to manipulate people and just wants to do what she does and not care about the consequences, no matter what it means to them. Plus, I mean, if you're into drugs, he'll partake in that kind of thing for you. He just knows how to live in the moment, enjoy the time there, because you are stuck there.
So does Sarah. We see them doing all of this stuff together. So they'll do drugs, they'll drink, whatever. They do the exact same shit. They do it all together. The difference that you're pointing out is that Niles has been in there longer. If I'm entering a time loop with Sarah,
he had to teach her everything. You show up and she's up there and he's not. She knows nothing. She cannot tell you where you are or what's going on. He had to teach her any knowledge she knows. So if you're in this time loop and he's not there, just her, you are definitely stuck, because she doesn't even know what the fuck's going on.
If I'm entering the time loop, she's already been there. I'm coming in there with all of the knowledge that she's acquired.
Right, but she doesn't know
experience. If I'm entering with Niles, I know that he is going to openly lie to me. I know that he's codependent. He's going to be relying on me to be basically all of his emotions ever. And I know that I'm going to get hunted down by fucking Omni-Man every day of my life for the rest of eternity.
It wasn't every day. It was occasionally he pops up.
Omni-Man. All right.
This was a weird debate. Okay.
Yeah, this is odd. I've only seen this movie once, and it was when it came out. So I'm like, wow, it's all coming back to me. Anyway, we're gonna start closings with Adelaide. You get to close first. You have 1 minute when you start talking.
At the end of the day, Niles is not trustworthy. We are introduced to him doing a whole song and dance routine to seduce Sarah and sleep with her. One of the very next scenes after it is him taking her over to watch him get cucked by his girlfriend. He literally tricks somebody into walking in on them having sex. The dude is a freak. I do not want to spend time with him. On top of that, J.K. Simmons will hunt you down. Doesn't matter how often, it'll happen a lot for eternity. You will be in constant pain forever with Niles, who again has no interest in leaving. All the drinks and all the drugs in the world does not take away from the fact that you will be in pain constantly. Sarah's intent is to leave. Even when she is not putting in that effort and that time, she will party, she will drink, she will do drugs, she will dance with you, she will sing with you. She is a great person to spend time with, as long as you're not Tyler Hoechlin or whoever, Camila Mendez. When she leaves because Niles is not treating her well and has openly lied to her. If you are there and you support her and you're a good friend for her, she will bring you out of the time loop. And also, she's fun.
Okay, let's move over to Mr. Michaels. You have 1 minute when you start talking.
Niles knows everything about the time loop itself and the day you're stuck in. Everything Sarah knows about it, she had to learn from Niles. So if you can only be stuck with one of them, Niles is the far better choice, because Sarah wouldn't know anything. She's not going to get out of the loop because she doesn't have any information. She only knows what she learned from Niles, who in this situation is not there. Sarah does nothing but assault you with a barrage of constant questions, and when she does realize she's in a time loop, she becomes a total downer for the rest of the film. The question is not who do you want to help you escape the time loop, it's who do you want to be stuck in that loop with. And spending your time stuck in the loop with Sarah would be miserable. The assumption is you're stuck there to live with that one person. Living out eternity with, theoretically, with her would be miserable. This is a woman who slept with her sister's groom, among many other bad choices, and will just end up abandoning you if you don't do what she wants. So you'll end up with no companion at all. Niles had to chase her to get them to be together. If I am stuck in a time loop, not trying to escape it, I'll take the one who makes my time in there the most fun, the most enjoyable, the one who can show me where everything is. Not the one who will just complain and badger and try to be controlling and eventually abandon me.
Okay. Let's bring in the judges.
I'm with you. I haven't seen this, but the one time when it was out. So
I enjoyed it.
It's a good
but it's really great.
Yeah, I remember. I liking it quite a bit.
I would rewatch it if I had time to rewatch anything.
I think it was one of those things where I watched it when it came out because I was like, oh, movies aren't coming out and I want to watch this. Yeah. And then people watched it so much that I got annoyed by how much I was hearing about it. So I stopped watching. I didn't want to watch it again.
That's fair.
All right. Good fight. Interesting. It's difficult when it's the same movie, but also it kind of helps at the same time because, you know, we're going one-on-one with the movie. It's tough. I went with Spence. I thought that at the end of the day, Spence convinced me that Niles actually like putting you in danger. And yes, I like what Brian was saying of like, if I know I'm going to come back, okay, I get burned alive, whatever. I still don't want that. And I think Spence and I also think Spence did a good job of, and again, I have no basis because I haven't seen the movie and it came out 6 years ago, so I don't have a basis for it, but of saying like Niles actually might not be the best guy. And I liked what Brian said of, oh, cool, she's learning quantum mechanics or whatever, like how much fun. But I think Spence hit on a good point of being like, well, yes, you're stuck in the loop with them and you want to be entertained, but also part of being stuck is trying to get out, and she's going to help you do that. And I dug that and clung on to that. So I went with Spence. Mark, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it was an interesting fight. You always love fight where we just try to, say, hey, who's the shittier person of these two? And we sit there and like, oh, I guess they both kind of suck. Like neither of them neither of them are really that great of people. Which, I mean, because ultimately, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna be stuck with somebody. I guess I'll just go with the funner guy. I guess the fire thing didn't bother me all that much. I did end up going with Brian at the end of the day.
All right, Robert, you're deciding this one.
Yeah, we're trying to sort out like what makes a fun person and what makes a bad person. This is a really philosophical debate in the manner of things, but all time movies are kind of basis of philosophical what is life and what happens if that life is taken away and all that stuff. Interesting, yeah, they chose from the same movie. Each one has terrible character flaws, clearly. Yeah, you guys both hit on some good points. I agree with some of what both of you are saying. Okay. So I think the basis of what the question is, I don't necessarily know if like the context of what a time loop movie is if I'm stuck there, if I might just want to be stuck. So something was said about like, we don't know what we might want to experience if we're going to come back. We don't know. Maybe, dying is cool. And that's a good idea. I went with the Brian game, like the crying game. You know that movie, that heartfelt movie. Yeah, I went with Brian. The context of what the question is, he just gave me more about like what Niles can do for me. If I'm stuck there, I'm not necessarily for me looking to get out. He has more things he knows about and can help me with when I'm there.
What an all-time line. Maybe dying is cool.
All right. That means Brian hits that point. And it is 3-1 in favor of Brian. So Adelaide has some work to do going into by Brian. Adelaide is the winner. No, I'm just kidding. We're back. Brian's back. Okay. Anyway, we're going to move on to the final prep question. Like I said, Brian is in the lead 3-1. So Adelaide has some work to do. Adelaide's got to hit this in order to send it to the bonus. The category is animation. The question is, which Studio Ghibli film has the best villain? Adelaide, you get to kick this off. You have 1 minute when you start talking.
The lead character of Boy and the Heron has a great granduncle named, not even named, he's just named as, granduncle or something. The man openly abandoned his family to create a tower that leads to another universe, where he is the singular architect of that universe. And in the universe, he openly crafts death and destruction. He lures in pelicans and gives them no source of food, so they die a slow, agonizing death. He brings in parakeets and makes them 6-foot-tall fucking monsters that like to eat children. This is a man who has absolutely zero responsibility and no thoughts for his actions. At the end of the movie, Mahito finally comes to him and he says, I'm bored. Take these building blocks and assemble a universe right in front of me. And then you're going to be trapped with it for eternity until you can find someone else to pass it off to. I'm going to go take a nap. This is a pure psychopath. Someone who has no sympathy or care for anybody around him, who openly abandons his family and keeps his great-granddaughter who died in the fire held alive for eternity.
That sounds bad. All right, let's bring in Brian. What you got for us? 1 minute when you start talking.
So Eboshi from Princess Mononoke is the best villain in a Studio Ghibli movie. She's the embodiment of human destructiveness when it comes to nature. She's the driving force behind the deforestation of the sacred forest, the slaughter of its inhabitants. She threatens the delicate balance of nature, and she provokes the animal god's wrath. She beheads the Nightwalker, causing massive destruction of the forest and the life within, and her actions are what turned the boar god into a demon that cursed the protagonist Ashitaka to start with. But what makes her a great villain is she's not just pure evil. Much like Thanos or Killmonger in the MCU, some of the best villains are those who totally understand their point of view and their motives. They make the wrong choices, but for the right reasons. They see themselves as the hero in their story. Eboshi is a woman trying to save her people. She's someone who takes in lepers and prostitutes and treats them like human beings and gives them jobs. She's trying to build and maintain Irontown as this thriving place for her people and help them survive. And that comes at the expense of nature. She does horrible things in the name of good, but but in the end, she is repentant and vows to break the cycle of violence and build a better town in harmony with the natural world.
Time. Okay. 5 minutes when one of you starts talking.
I agree with you that I think what makes an interesting villain is somebody who has, complicated these layered actions. I think the issue with Eboshi is she's not aware of the consequences of her actions. She thinks, as any normal person would, she is hunting, she is killing, she is retrieving meat, all the normal shit. She's not aware of the literal demons that she's creating, and once she does, she stops. She moves on. She says, "Yeah, I made a mistake," and that's a very.
Now she stops when she gets her arm bitten off.
I don't think it is like the severity of, she's this moral quandary and she has come over it. I think that the granduncle, great-great-great-granduncle, whatever, he knows the harm that he's committing. He's aware of all the inhabitants he is torturing, and just kind of accepts it. He revels in their pain and just kind of moves on when he's tired, not when he has done enough harm. Eboshi immediately learns of it and apologizes and works to be better. That's not a villain. It's a complicated character, but I think Granduncle fits the idea of a villain a lot better.
I could not disagree more. First of all, Granduncle is barely a presence in this movie, especially until the very end. And the problem is, now Granduncle was accepted as a villain, so I'm not going to argue he's not a villain. But I'm going to say, as a villain, he's not much of a villain. He basically is this guy who's just sitting in this tower, in this pocket universe that he's ended up creating, stacking these blocks, and he basically is a kind of a distant observer. He's not really participating in this story. He's not creating any conflict. He's not being much of a villain. And as a matter of fact, when the great grandnephew or whatever comes to see him, he's not a villain. He actually offers, he's like, "Hey, would you like to take over? I will give you these blocks and you can build the universe how you want it." And at first he's like, "Yeah, I don't want this world because it's full of malice." He goes, "Okay, I found these blocks that have no malice. You can build the world like you want, full of peace and bounty." How is that a villain?
Willingly is creating a world of malice. He's reveling in this death and destruction of this absolute torture. Eboshi, on the other hand, actively doesn't do that. Like you said, that she's providing these home for these lepers, and she's like buying prostitutes to give them a better life. She wants to be a good person, and then suddenly when she learns that her actions are bad, she immediately walks it back. She immediately says, "Oh shit, I messed up. I'm so sorry." I think that she's, again, I will say, interesting character. I'm not trying to debate your pick. Yeah, she is like framed as a villain within the film, but I don't think she's a great villain. I think she's a good character. I think Granduncle is the epitome of a villain, someone who is like, he is complicated and he's layered, but the lack of remorse and the familiar relation.
Villains can be redeemed. Darth Vader, for example. It's not a matter of lack of remorse, because she does at the end. She decides that she wants to become a better person, build a better town, and be in harmony with nature instead of destroying nature. With Granduncle or Great Uncle, whatever you want to call him, his problem is that, like, I didn't see him reveling in creating malice and chaos. He was in his pocket universe, not really affecting the real world. He just wanted to do his thing. His entire actions in the movie consist of basically sitting in a room and talking to Magneto when he finally walks all the way up there, asking him if he wants to take over, and trying to help him get these blocks that don't have malice so he can make a better world. And then he just disappears when the tower collapses because his attempt to maintain the world fails.
I think
that's it. There's hardly any villainy in there.
I think ignoring the idea of like, oh, it's a whole universe, but it's not the one that we live in, so it's fine. That's so reductive. These are millions of people's lives that he is just totally tossing aside at whim because he's bored, he got tired, or whatever. I think Eboshi's presence in the narrative is someone who, even though like maybe she's framed as a villain, isn't as much of a villain within the narrative itself. Well, like as we're watching the film, we can sympathize with her and how I forgot the dude's fucking name, the lead guy. Like he does work with her. He wants to be on her good side, and at the end of the time, like, yes, like I don't think that she's a villain who is redeemed. I think that she is somebody who works through her shit and moves on. Because Ghibli isn't really known for their villains. That's not what the studio does.
I agree, which is why she's not the mustache trolling, "Oh, I want to create chaos." She is doing what she's doing for good reasons, but that doesn't make her good. She's still a villain. Much like I talked about Killmonger and Thanos, just as two examples, because they think they're doing the right thing to save their people, to protect their people, to do good things. But like you said, Studio Ghibli has never really been good versus evil. It's more layered than that. He talks about being gray versus gray, and that's what she is. But the problem is that with the Great Uncle is he bears almost no effect on the movie for the first like 2/3 of it. He's just there in his tower doing nothing, and he has his pocket universe. He's not even affecting the real world.
So you would say Palpatine has no influence over Star Wars because you don't really feel him. Like he has barely any screen time in Empire and Jedi. But no, Granduncle.
I do not think he's the best villain in Empire or in Star Wars. When he has a big part in Jedi, yes,
the whole movie.
But he's not in the other movies where he's barely a presence, like Great Uncle.
his destruction
that.
of the environment, and they're constantly talking about how he abandoned his family to come be in this imaginary universe. The emotional weight of
Abandoning your family is the worst thing a villain does. I think that's not really much of a
the
villain.
core of
It's just a
Mayuto's
shit person.
character and his flaws come from this. That influence is felt the whole time.
Okay. Let's start closings with Brian. Brian, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
The Grand Uncle and Boy in the Heron is not only not the best Ghibli villain, he's not only barely a villain, he's barely even a presence in the film. For the most part, he's an observer in this distant tower. He stacks blocks, worries about a shaky tower, and then disappears when things fall apart. When he does finally really enter the story, he's simply trying to offer his nephew the chance to succeed him and build the world however he wants, one of peace and bounty. He isn't villainous. He's a victim of the circumstance, someone who was accidentally put in this position he's in with no motives to hurt others or cause problems. He doesn't affect the outside world and doesn't drive any conflict. So I don't know how he could be considered a great villain. Iboshi's active decisions and actions drive the conflict of Princess Mononoke. She's a layered, almost sympathetic villain that, despite her good intentions, is causing death and destruction on a massive scale. You cannot compare an active, world-altering antagonist like Iboshi to a passive, reclusive old man like the Grand Uncle. As a character, and especially as a villain, Iboshi is far more interesting, complex, and more essential to the story of her film.
Time. Okay, let's go over to Adelaide. Adelaide, you have 1 minute when you start talking.
I think Mahito's great-great-granduncle is essential to the story of the Boy and the Heron. From the very beginning, we hear about this member of the family totally abandon his children and his wife so he can go live in an alternate universe who disappeared forever. And when we finally meet him, he is a distant man who has no empathy and is just building a world of absolute evil. It's very similar to like the allegory for him as like a modern-day politician. Someone who is purely just creating war and destruction and death and just totally distant from it because he absolutely does not care. He does what he wants and he has fun with it. And then when he gets bored, he just passes the murder on to somebody else just passively. I think the interesting thing with Lady Eboshi is even though she's treated as a villain within the narrative, I think she isn't this like very overpowering villainous figure. Again, Ghibli is not something that really crafts traditional villains. I think Grand Uncle is that. Eboshi is an example of layered characters like in Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle, where characters can do bad things, but I don't really think that she is this overall villain. It is more about the demons and the destruction of nature.
All right. Spooky stuff.
Destruction of nature. Strike from the record. I'm exhausted.
All right. Robert, you are our first on this one.
Yeah. I really like this debate a lot. Even though we're at near the end and people are tired. I'm tired. Just listening to everything and writing all my notes. I'm doing work here too, guys. So I want you to back up off. Anyway, no, I liked how we're trying to sort out kind of what makes a good villain, villainous intent versus villainous actions, maybe not done on purpose or without the knowledge of a greater impact. I was back and forth on this quite a bit. I was with somebody in the openings, then we kind of flip-flopped a lot, hot potato in the debate. But I was kind of driven home by kind of what the villain's impact was on the whole of the story and kind of how you don't necessarily need to be a villain always to have villainous intent, or that you can be a villain without villainous intent. So I went with this is very simple. I went with the person who's reminding of $1 billion biopic. I went with Michael. I went with Brian. Yeah, because sorry, I had to do what I could. There's a lot of that.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, I just went with Brian because the layeredness of Eboshi. I like how he sorted that out and explained it. I was with Spence because of I like that argument about intentionality, and then Brian kept hitting home about how less effective Granduncle was, or great granduncle, in the course of the story, and it just chipped away at what Spence was trying to do. And I obviously went with Brian as part of that.
Okay. I also agree. I thought this was a good fight. I thought that, I've seen both of these movies, but I don't remember much of anything. And I thought both did a good job of kind of explaining their villains and how they're villainous in a non-traditional way. And ultimately, I think, Brian had convinced me that they both convinced me that their villains, like I said, were non-traditional, but also just like that they're not just mustache twirly crazy villains like a Darth Vader, or like as was referenced, or somebody else. And so I think there were a lot of even points back and forth. Ultimately, I did go with Brian. I thought that Brian's attacks, like I said, were pretty even with Spence's, but I felt like Brian's defense and the work he did on his villain, talking about how, yes, there's a point where they realize, like, maybe what they've been doing is wrong, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, they're just the more exciting, layered, interesting villain. Spence, I thought, like I said, did a good job on I forget already, the Granduncle.
Granduncle.
Yeah, I liked the idea of, like, this is a person who's just, like, the fact that they're evil is just because they're so, like, nonchalant about their horrible stuff. But at the end of the day, I think Brian had a really good point. Something that hit me and stuck with me was when he said, like, the fact that this person leaves their family is the worst thing they've done. Like, whoa. I think the character actually does do some pretty other things that are bad, but Brian kind of demoralized that villain and really brought up his own. So I went with Brian. Mark, your vote does not count. Where would you have gone with that?
Well, Spence, you got one of us. I was right there. I don't know. Like, the fight went along. I heard everybody explain. It's like, I don't know. Brian's villain doesn't sound that bad. And I was like the boy in the heron, like, sounds like a not good person, and I could at least kind of grasp onto that. This was honestly kind of a weird fight, and like that was kind of the one thing I was like grasping at here, so to speak.
Okay, well, that means your winner and new Fanzone debate champion is Brian Michaels. We are going to talk to the players in a second here, but I do want to start by just talking to you guys a little bit. Robert, we'll start with you. What are your final thoughts coming out of this one? This was a crazy match.
This is going to be one of those ones that happens a lot, especially in matches of repute like this, where the score doesn't really tell the whole story. Numbers don't tell the whole story. You have to watch this whole debate, because there were a lot of splits between us. Spence, worthy champion, they put a heck of an effort throughout this. It's just Brian's a seasoned veteran, knows how to poke the best holes, knows how to prop up what he's trying to do. And he just managed to do that a little bit more than Spence each time. So just got by a little bit more points each round. And that's what sealed the victory. So kudos to him, but kudos to Spence as well for how they won the belt and how they tried to defend here.
Yeah. Mark, we'll talk to you in a second. I do want to talk to Adelaide real quick. Adelaide, listen, I'm looking at your stats here. And this is your first loss this year. You've played 5 matches, which is crazy because we're only halfway through the season. You've had an incredible season winning the belt. You're 4-1 this season. And you've had a bunch of clean sweeps. Your vote percentage is really high. Like, I think you've really turned this thing around, and I'm really proud of you and what you've done in this league this season. I think we will be seeing you back in the tournament. I hope, if the seedings work out that way. And so, what's kind of your end thought at the end of this one?
Just look over my notes that I have over here. I was like, first things first, I want to apologize to Brian. I felt a lot of pressure coming in because, like, not to say like, there's no bad feelings towards people that I've beat in the past 4 matches, but Brian is another caliber. You know, he is a former champion. He is. I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame. He will be. He is like that level. So the effort that I put in this match comparatively is I actively watched a bunch of his debates and then try to figure out who he was as a debater. And a lot of that was negging, interrupting. So I said, let me be like Brian, and it might have went a little too hard. So apologies there. I knew that I got under his skin, and that was not the intent. But it sucks because I love debating, and it's always going to be that inner fight of, should I have said more? Am I going to be a little like an asshole? Like, oh, I should have gotten this point. But it's just like, it's tough. But I still have that drive. It's always going to be the question if I had more time, I'd prep more. Tournament, it's calling me. I don't know if I'm going to make it back to the end of this because fucking Jacoby's there and I'm going to play him for a 5th time probably. But I'm still really hungry. I don't know if it's going to be playing Brian again, but I hope that I'll be able to get back up here one day and prove that I earned my way here.
Yeah, for sure, Spence. I think you are a very worthy champion. Your matches this year have been great. I think even every debate tonight, whether it was a clean sweep or a split, was close. I thought you played fantastic. And like you said, Brian is not someone to take lightly. So putting in the prep and putting in the work and everything is just one part of it, but then actually getting in front of him and putting it all into work is a whole nother ball game. And I think you did really great against him. So congrats on a match well played. Very worthy champion, Adelaide Spence. Let's bring in the winner, Brian Michaels. Brian, champ, once again, 2-time Fanzone debate champion. How are we feeling about that?
Happy we didn't have to go to speed round. This is the first time I think ever in a title match, whether fighting for it or defending it, that I haven't had to go to a speed round. And you know how much I hate those, so let's talk about that. First of all, I just got to say, Spence had an awesome run, and the fact that they made it to champ in the season was amazing. The apology thing, fuck that shit. You do what you got to do to win a debate, and if I have to, I'll push back on it. Do not apologize for any tactic you take, unless you're Nazario. He's a fucking asshole. In debate. Let me clarify that. As far as this match, I had to fight for everything. There's only one clean sweep, and it wasn't the one I expected it to be at all. I was sure I was going to lose the time loop one, so I was surprised to come away with that. But yeah, Spence put up a great fight, and I'm sure I'm going to be seeing them again at some point in the future, whether it be still as champ or on the lower match, trying to get my own way back up to the top.
Yeah, Brian, this gives you a little bit of a break. I'm going to now throw out some names for you of people that you could be playing. We're looking at, what do we got here? We got John Marr. John Marr, he's debuted this season, played very well. Jacoby Bancroft, you've played him before, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you have.
I think so. Yeah.
And you've also got somebody on this call, Robert Kastner. So thoughts on any of those people that you could be playing in the next one?
You know, if I'm picking one, I would say Mar, only because the other two are going to be that much hungrier to beat me. And I know that both of them, what they're capable of, and I think that they'll be even more dangerous if I beat them again. Then again, Mar, he's I mean, if there's one thing he does in this community, it's argue with people. So that would be difficult as well. But yeah, I mean, any three of those I could see making it to the title match. And but I don't want to watch French New Wave fucking horror, so forget Mar. But then again, I mean, Spence tried to throw Studio Ghibli at me, knowing that I don't like it. I didn't watch either movie. I've seen Mononoke once a couple of years ago. Otherwise, I just did the research. So it is what it is.
Wow. Okay.
I will say,
Brian.
I'm very happy though I got to watch both those film noir movies were awesome. Check them out.
Nice. Brian, congrats on the win and becoming champion once again. Mark, I want to get final thoughts from you. What do you take away from this, Brian being champ once again?
Honestly, at the end of the day, feels fitting. Just kind of, it was inevitable. Brian was going to be champion again. Just kind of like he's just always kind of scratching there at the end. I will say, Spence, give him a round for his money. I honestly can't wait till these two debate again. I think it was probably one of the funner viewing experience, at least from the desk, like watching both of them go at it. Spence at the end was like I don't know if I feel bad if I go in that hard. I hope you go that hard every single time. Honestly, it was great.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment. That's going to do it for us today at Fanzone Debate, but lots more to come up in Duel of the Fates 2. So keep watching. More titles are on the line. More matches that were supposed to be recorded but weren't, and we're going to talk about them because I forgot to hit go live. You're going to hear that next. This was fantastic. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Robert. And thank you, Brian and Adelaide. And thank you, everyone else who helps make this show run. Your Kirks, your Nicks, everybody. If I forgot to mention you, we appreciate you. Brian, again, he judges a lot. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Until then. Bye.
Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, sweet Caroline.
Fuck!
Hey, everyone.
Hey.
Great debate title match, huh? Congrats to the champion.
Yeah, congrats to insert Adelaide or Brian here. I don't know.
Correct.
We haven't shot yet.
Great match. As you know, the lineup for Duel of the Fates 2 was to be the 3 title matches, debate teams, and fandom singles, as well as a special 5-way retirement redemption match featuring formerly retired players, all wanting to get a chance to get back into fandom. We sent out the call. It was answered by 5 people. I'll tell you the 5 people now. It was Richard Schwartz, Malcolm Lay, Jacob E. West, Hunter Chambliss, and Nick Carley. They were set to play in a 5-way match, and they did play in a 5-way match.
Yes, they did.
Tim, would you like to take it from me?
Yeah, we didn't hit record.
No, didn't record the match. Didn't notice until literally we announced the your winner. So,
oh my god.
So the match was shot. I can just say everyone played very, very well.
Yeah.
And someone won. We're not going to tell you right now. You'll find out in just a few minutes. We're just going to show you a quick flashback at these 5 players. The moment they lost their retirement match, thus exiting fandom. So this was sort of the last we saw of them prior to them re-entering this fandom singles ring. And then at the end, we'll reveal who won the match and who will be returning to the fandom roster.
Yeah. So we'll
and
take
then
a look at that.
Then we'll go to the team's title.
Yeah, so we'll take a look at those clips, then talk to our winner who's entering. I think we've already said this, right? Yeah, you just said it. They're entering the Omega tournament number 2. So we'll talk to them, find out. It'll be exciting. Let's take a look.
It just didn't quite go your way. Unfortunately, this does mean your time in singles has to come to a bit of a stall. What are your plans going forward?
Before I said anything, that was high drama. I'm glad that I'm not really going out here without a loss, because at least I took down a member out of the New British Empire. But overall, man, it is what it is. You know, I'm disappointed with my performance tonight, without a doubt. Round 3 was not my strong suit. But overall, when I come back, I am going to be stronger than ever. I'm constantly getting better, constantly improving. And, yeah, you haven't seen the last of me. And, of course, Future Shock, myself and Matthew Rose, I have a match coming up. And yeah, big plans for the Fandom Team division.
All right, so let's start by talking to Malcolm. Malcolm, unfortunately, this does mean that in singles, we have to say goodbye to you. How are you feeling about the match and all of that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a case of it definitely comes down to us. Like, when I knew I was going up against Albert, I knew how scary he is, whether it's in Full Metal Geek or here. So I knew I was going to be running up against a brick wall. This is what I did actually study a lot for. And just a lot of what I studied did not come up. So it's just one of those things. I'm annoyed with myself for MCU, but some of those questions I just second guess myself and just went against my gut, which happens. I know this is all the excuses in the book, but it is what it is.
It was a great game. I did my best. Looking back, I should have probably only bet one Disney live action. Probably should have gone multiple choice in Disney animation. I just, I thought Jay wouldn't get it. He did. But, I did. I played a good game. It wasn't like I played terribly. I didn't get Jurassic Park. I didn't get Opponent's Choice. So I can't say it was because of that. It just happened. Sudden death, Star Wars question, had to be a planet. It happens. And though I'm done for the season, we'll see. This being retired thing's going to stick. Oh, you might see me back next year. I'll find a way. You can't make me go. No.
Just David Tenneting me all the way out the door. Just I don't want to go.
Little Sean, how do you feel about Jacob's performance?
Nick, I don't know how to tell you this. Little Sean's not real. Little Sean is, in fact, a little piece of paper that is taped to a really old broken whiteboard. Fun fact, guys, it's Sean Wasserkrug. You thought he was retired. No, it's creepy voodoo magic.
I noticed that in the thing.
He also speaks through me, so I say his words out loud. And I'm not going to subject you to the name calling going on right now. Because he's called me useless, a stepping stone, no, that's bad. Also, fun fact, what a lot of my friends said when I talked about the two matches I did today. You're gonna get your butt kicked. It's a stepping stone match for the other person to be able to turn their career around and do better.
Oh, well, that's very mean of your friends to have said that to you, but
yeah, I mean. It was one of those things. It was a lot of movies I hadn't gotten around to yet. Like you said, I think been concentrating more on just generic movies instead of all the fandom stuff, especially the new stuff that's been added. So I mean, especially with I've heard that movie's great. I haven't seen it. I need to see it. I've heard really good things.
DreamWorks been doing very well recently.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it seems difficult for them to miss at this point, but. Anyways, I mean, it was a great match. Matthew's a great player. Like I said, I was shocked to see him in a retirement match just in general, because I know how good of a player he is. So, I'm happy I kept it close, and I got a couple steals, which were good. So that's, I kept it interesting until the very end. So that's about all I can ask for.
Hey! Are you ready for a retirement redemption match? Well, you're too late. We already did it. You missed it. Your fault. In all actuality, we just shot the retirement redemption. We have players such as Jacob E. West, Nick Harley, Hunter Chambliss, Richard Schwartz, and spoiler, but not really because you're not going to see it. The winner was Malcolm Lay below us. Malcolm, no one's going to see the match, but you just played the match. It was neck and neck with you and Hunter. Hunter almost won. We almost went to sudden death. You came out strong in round one. You had 8 out of 10. Yeah. You played really, really well. And Malcolm, I think it's worth noting, A lot of people have lost retirement matches over the years. Your retirement match was lost to Albert Ware at Harma, who is now in the Fandom Fights Hall of Fame. So I think it's worth mentioning that you played someone really difficult when you actually went out, and you're clearly still playing very well. Did you prep for this?
I didn't prep anything for this. I was kind of battling the flu today, so as well.
Oh,
so.
Did you expect to win?
I mean, not really. Like I was just sort of coming in here just to have fun and see what happens. But yeah.
Perfect. Malcolm, as I said, you are back on the roster. You had a win. So when you retired, you were 1-5. You are now 2-5. So that's a good thing. But you're also going to be the #1 seed in our retirement tournament, Omega Tournament 2. You will be playing, actually, I can tell you right now, you will be playing the #8 seed, Zadius Smith, in your first match. So that's your next match. It's Zadius Smith. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. Zadius is always fun to play against. Like, we always have a good time, and he's a cool dude. So,
But
awesome.
were you and Zadius enemies in Virtual Survivor? Weren't you guys like mortal enemies? Am I remembering that?
They were
correctly?
opposed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we were on opposite teams, but I mean,
Yeah.
but I also tried to start an alliance with him too. But it just didn't play out.
Well, Malcolm, even if you don't beat Zadius, you will have at least 2 other chances to avoid going back into retirement. Based on the way you play today, my money's on you. So congratulations on the win. Sad people won't get to see it, but what we just witnessed was a pretty damn good match played by you. So congratulations to Malcolm and to all the players. They all played really great. They really did. They all came out swinging. It was like some of them haven't skipped a beat. Some of them haven't played in a long time. A lot of great fandom was just played. Malcolm comes out the winner. So Malcolm, we will see you return to fandom in
Yeah.
Hey, good game to rule if this doesn't work out. Yeah, go for it.
Squirrel, final answer.
And your winners and new Fandom Fights Teams champions, Rule of 2. The answer was chicken.
Kaiser, you seem super
Yes.
excited.
Indeed.
No, it's fine. I don't want to say, I don't know when things happen. They had a road to get here. We had to be hardest team there is out there to get what we have. We don't plan to relinquish it lightly, I would think.
Said Kiri.
And your winners, moving on to the title match, wrong side of the river. The answer was the Kiri.
Jacoby, there's a possibility at the end of this whole video, the entire one, that you could be double melted in fandom. Quite possible. How you feeling?
That's crazy. That's nuts. That seems like a mistake. But you know what? That match isn't even important for what's coming, because what I'm focused on right now is here with you. I am so excited to be here, rocking this team's match, this team's titles match. I feel like we fought our way here, and we're ready to go. And I'm stoked for whatever happens to be playing with you, So how are you feeling?
I am extremely excited because the entirety of our relationship has been you saying you wanted to support me and the way your year's going. I am now the supporter and you are the one killing it, and that's going to keep going, damn it.
Honestly, my mind is so foggy right now that half of what you said I registered, but yes, they beat tough people, we beat even tougher people, so, and yes, I think the one thing which I haven't personally done, I think you want to do with this thing is to defend, and this is our best opportunity, so I suggest just put our best feet forward.
We have all the horses.
Yeah! They're on the wrong side of the river.
We use hands and feet here. You might even see me right with my toes, but stay tuned.
Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fandom Fights. We're here at Duel of the Fates 2 for a very exciting teams title match. We have the new champions, Rule of 2. They won their belts, exciting fashion doing so. It was spicy, and now they're going up against Wrong Side of the River, who, as was said, had to beat some tough teams to get here. Nick, you're here. How are you? What do you think of the matchup? As you said earlier, a tale as old as time, or, you know, like 2 matches or something.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I think these are 2 teams that are often mentioned in the same vein, in a similar vein, especially now that Rule of 2 have won their belts. Like, I consider, like, with Wrong Side of the River being former teams champions, I consider these 2 as evenly matched as 2 teams can be. All 4 players are playing on fire this year. They're all doing great. Worry not about Kaiser's foggy mind. He was like that when he won the team's frenzy. So, like, I genuinely think we're in for a good one today. You're right, they have played twice. Rule of 2 took the first one. It was like very early in their debuts, and they've both been around for so long since. And then they battled each other out for 3rd place in the 4-way 1 year ago. So the fact that both teams are now here with another shot at the title is very exciting. Genuinely, anything could happen. I'm pumped. Let's go.
Yeah, let's get into it, starting with round number 1. Nick, how's that going to work in the title?
Round number 1. It's going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we'll say 10's down. At which point, the players, Kaiser, will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece, and should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each team will have 4 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of this here title match. Teams, any questions as we get into round number 1?
I wish I could be a Phyllis Kaiser right now.
If this match is determined on whose mouth can open the widest, we've won already.
It just kept going.
I know you're back. You're shaking a bag of peppers at me. All right. Let's get into it. Question 1. Nick, what's that question?
Question 1, round 1, is going to come in the category of Fight Night. The question is, in Rocky V, Tommy KOs Union Kane in which round of their fight?
Future Fandom Fights player Ellie is hyped to be a part of this.
You let me know if this joke is too soon. I'm excited to witness this match that's happening currently. You all are too.
It's not, I told you I was mad then. I'm still mad, but it's
it's fine.
I slept on it. Let's go to Kaiser.
I think I'll block this movie from my brain. So the round.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I said round 1.
And Robert.
I also said round 1.
And Amaru.
It's like we didn't even have this question. I said round 3.
Round 1 is correct.
I was like, they wouldn't devote a lot of time to that fight. You know?
I was like, what is this fight?
Guys, your next question is in the category of DC. In Watchmen, Rorschach interrogated Edgar Jacoby after seeing him at what kind of event? Yeah. Not spelled the same way, but yeah. Yeah. What a crazy event.
Yeah.
5.
Trust me, it gets better now.
2, 1, pens down. Let's go to Jacoby.
Is it a funeral?
Let's go to Robert.
Yeah, I thought it was comedian's funeral.
Let's go. Can you bring it a little closer? Sorry, Robert. You're just a little fuzzy, and I couldn't.
Okay.
There it is.
I'll hold it.
And Amaru.
Funeral.
And Kaiser.
Funeral.
Funeral is correct. Clean sweep, 3-3. What's next, Nick?
Your next question will come in the category of Law and Order. And the question is, who plays Detective Jeffrey Friedman in Beverly Hills Cop 2?
Do you have a favorite number 2 movie? Is it this one?
Flushed Away.
Oh, yeah. All right. 5, 4, 3.
What about Captain Underpants?
1.
I was thinking the emoji.
Down. Let's go to Robert.
Besides the main cops, the only other one I can think of is Paul Reiser.
Let's go to Amaro.
That is what I was trying to write, and I didn't.
Let's go to Kaiser.
Hello, my name is Jeff. Paul Reiser.
And Jacoby.
Paul Reiser.
Paul Reiser is correct. 5-4 rule in the lead. Your next question is in the category of the paranormal. 1 second. I know. Your question is, which paranormal film features a cast including Lee Grant and Robert Foxworth? Are you happy now?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Nick look happy?
Yeah.
Do you think Nick is happy?
Yeah.
Do you think Anna's happy with Nick? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Amaru.
Said the Omen.
Let's go to Kaiser.
Damien, the Omen too?
Let's go to Jacoby.
Is it The Conjuring?
And Robert.
I said Damien Omen 2.
Damien Omen 2 is correct. So both Kaiser and Robert will hit that one. What's next, Nick?
Your next question will come in the category of criminal underworld. Your question is, name one member of the Vicious Six in Minions: The Rise of Gru.
God.
Oh.
It was going so well.
This question was horrible.
I haven't seen this one yet, but I have to imagine this is an incredibly silly thing to ask for.
I originally was going to ask for 2, and then I'm like, that's mean. So I thought just 1 might be good.
No, not yet.
Do you know the answer to this?
Yeah.
What is it?
What if she says the answer?
4, 3,
I know.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Kaiser.
I say the easiest one, John Claw.
Let's go to Jacoby.
What is the name? Foxy?
Let's go to Robert.
I have no idea about any of these. I made up a name called Crimson Tornado.
And Amaru.
I said it phonetically, but I put Jean Claw.
Jean Claw is one of the answers. So both teams will get 1 point for that. 8-5. Is that what you have, Nick?
Yeah, the other options were Bell Bottom, Savengin. Look it up. I don't care.
Not Foxy. Okay.
The next question is in the category of YA. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, the Weasleys have recently returned from a vacation in what country?
I guess I can try. Sven. Oh, like Sven. Svengeance. Okay.
Vengeance.
Yeah. There's Stronghold. There's Nunchuck and Wild Knuckles.
Nunchuck. Bell Bottom and Nunchuck are ones I remember now.
Those
Stupid
were
ones.
4, 3,
Yeah.
2.
Sorry, I
1.
made you guys watch this.
Hands down. Let's go to Jacoby.
USA?
Let's go to Robert.
Egypt.
Let's go to Rue.
Yeah.
Egypt.
And Kaiser.
Egypt.
Egypt is correct. What's next, Nick?
Your next question comes to the category of DreamWorks. And the question is, who directed Puss in Boots?
Great question.
Did you say no one? It became.
It appeared one day.
The immaculate Puss in Boots.
It's like a Banksy thing. Someone just dropped Puss in Boots and then vanished.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
I went to a guy who directs a lot of DreamWorks. I said Tom McGrath.
Let's go to Rue.
That makes a lot more sense than Mike Myers.
Let's go to Kaiser.
I just randomly guess Walt Dawn.
And Jacoby.
I also guess Walter Dorn.
All incorrect. We're looking for Chris Miller. Chris Miller.
Oh.
You didn't even think about it.
All right. Your next question is in the category of the MCU. Which MCU film features a post-credit scene where the main character is revealed to have been narrating the whole film to another character?
I'm going to give you guys a technical repeat on that one. Which MCU film features a post-credit scene where the main character is revealed to have been narrating the whole film to another character? It seemed as though she was reading along.
I think, yeah, like she was saying everyone's name where I was like, Kai. She goes, Kai's.
Oh.
I enjoyed all the squeaky sounds. It was beautiful.
It's a family show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
Iron Man 3.
Let's go to Amaru.
Iron Man 3.
And Kaiser.
I can't believe I got a post-credit question right. Iron Man 3.
And Jacoby.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3 is correct. Nick, I have 12-8. Is that what you have?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, what's next?
Your penultimate question comes in the category of American Spies. In Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Denlinger is the director of what agency?
You kind of cut out.
Yeah,
on
you
my
cut out
name
the
of
name.
person.
I got you. In Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Denlinger is the director of what agency?
Mama, I'm here. No, I'll go by myself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Amaru.
To the CIA.
Let's go to Kaiser.
I thought Keytrish was CIA, so I said NSA.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I also said the NSA.
And let's go to Robert.
The rows are the same because I said CIA.
I believe NSA would work, right, Nick? No, so all incorrect. The National Intelligence, the Department of National Intelligence is the correct.
Can't you just give Kaiser and I the point? It doesn't matter either way. That's like the same thing.
That's what I thought. But all right, your final question in this round is in the category of sci-fi icons. In The Matrix, who uploads Neo's combat training? Ellie's a little hyper.
Huh?
But Ellie's a little bit hyper.
That's fair. Those peppers really get to this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Kaiser.
I don't know. A tank?
Jacoby.
I said mouse.
Let's go to Robert.
Tank does the downloads and uploads or whatever, so the tank.
And Amaru.
Tank.
Dang it.
Tank is the correct answer. So at the end of round number 1, I have Rule of 2 in the lead, 14-9. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, let's get into round number 2. How's it going to work?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 10 fandom categories on it. No spinners or opponent's choice per request of the champions. Each team will get a spin at the wheel. If they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like check down to multiple choice, at which point it'll only be worth 1, but be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, what's on the wheel today?
On the round number 2 wheel, we have Law and Order, Mixed Bag, YA, Sci-Fi Icons, Galaxy Quests, Horror Icons, Creature Features, Fight Night, Epic Adventures, and MCU. The champions are in the lead. Rule of 2. Would you like to spin or defer? I forgot they're in a call.
We will defer.
Okay, this will be the spin for Wrong Side of the River. and it lands on YA. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
We're gonna keep that.
Okay. Nick, do you want to go ahead and read River their questions in YA?
Gladly. Wrong side of the river. I'll be giving you your questions in the category of YA. Are you prepared for them? Oh, I'll assume that was a yes. Okay. Your first question. Which YA film features the characters Jack Kang, Marlene, and Edgar?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Insurgent. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. Paula Malcolmson appears in how many YA films?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat the question, please.
All right, that is your first repeat. The question again. Paula Malcolmson appears in how many YA films?
Four. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. All right, River, your third question. During her valedictorian speech in Twilight Eclipse, Jessica says that when she was 5, she wanted to be what when she grew up?
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice, please.
All right, your multiple choice options are: is it A, astronaut, B, princess, C, president, or D, veterinarian?
Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the options, please.
Yep, your options again are A, astronaut, B, princess, C, president, D, veterinarian.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
President. Final answer.
Is incorrect. Rule of 2, chance for the 1 point steal. Your options again are A, astronaut, B, princess, C, president, or D, veterinarian.
Princess, final answer.
That is correct for the 1 point steal. All right, wrong side of the river. Your penultimate question in YA. What specifically is Gally wearing over his face when he first encounters Thomas in The Maze Runner: The Death Cure?
Five, 4, 3.
A gas mask. Final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. Tie game. Wrong side of the river, your final question in YA. In the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, after Edmund breaks the window, the children go inside to see that they had also knocked what specific object over?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Repeat the question, please.
All right, that is your second repeat. Question again. In the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, after Edmund breaks the window, the children go inside to see that they had also knocked what specific object over?
Their father's picture. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Rule of 2, chance for the 2-point steal.
Five, 4, 3, 2.
A vase. Final answer.
Is unfortunately also incorrect. We're looking for a suit of armor.
Ah.
All right. So at the end of River's spin, I have a tie game with 15. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, we're going to bring back the wheel. This is going to be the spin for Rule of 2. And it lands on horror icons. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
May we ask to see the rest of the wheel real quick before we decide? Is that okay?
Yes. Your other options available still are Law and Order, Mixed Bag, Sci-Fi Icons, Galaxy Quests, Creature Features, Fight Night, Epic Adventures, and MCU.
Right now. We'll spin again.
Okay. This is going to be what you are stuck with. And the gods have bestowed horror icons upon you. All right. All right. Rule 2. I'll be giving you your questions in horror icons. Are you ready? All right. Your first question. In which horror icons film does a character appear on a talk show to promote a book only to have the interview interrupted by a friend? Five, 4.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Wrong side of the river. Chance for a 2-point steal. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Rob Zombie's Halloween. Final answer.
That's also incorrect. We're looking for a New Nightmare. All right. We're moving on. Okay, cool. All right.
Sorry, it was you said it, and I was like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm done." So it was just me being done.
All right, your next question. Who plays the adult version of Michael Myers in the original Halloween 2? Five, 4.
Multiple.
All right, your multiple choice options are A, James Jude Courtney, B, Dick Warlock, C, Nick Castle, or D, George P. Wilbur.
Nick Castle, final answer.
That is incorrect. River chance for a 1-point steal. Is it A, James Jude Courtney, B, Dick Warlock, C, Nick Castle, or D, George P. Wilbur? Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
B as in boy, final answer.
That is correct for 1 point.
Can you guys hold up? I accidentally got knocked out of my other call. I need to go back in. Do you mind? Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So with that 1-point steal, River has the lead, but we're going to move on to Rule of Two's next question. Your question, Rule of Two. In Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, Eddie is a writer that enjoys writing what genre?
Science fiction, final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. And the lead. Your fourth question. In A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, how does Kristen die?
She's burned alive, final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. And your final question. Who finds Deputy Hawkins struggling for his life at the start of Halloween Kills? Take first name, last name, or both.
Just to clarify, first name or first and last name.
Repeat.
Okay, that is your first repeat. Your question again. Who finds Deputy Hawkins struggling for his life at the start of Halloween Kills?
Cameron, final answer.
That is correct for 2 points. And at the end of round number 2, I have Rule getting their total up to 21 with the Steel River at 16. Is that what you have, Nick?
It's the same as it was a round ago.
Yes, it is. All right.
A wild path to get there, but here we go.
Round number 3. How's that going to work, Nick?
Round number 3 is going to work like this. It is the filmography round. We have 3 more questions valued at 1, 2, and 3 points apiece. One player from each team will take the 1-point question. The other player will take the 2-point question, and teams can confer on the 3-point question. Each question gives 2 clues pointing to a particular fandom actor or actress. Should you get the question correct, you would receive the concurrent amount of points, and then we'll move on to the next round after that.
Cool. All right. Who's going to take the 1-pointer for each team? Raise your hand. Do a dance. Do whatever you want. Kaiser will take the 1-pointer for.
I'm taking the 1.
All right. Rue is taking it for River. All right. Nick, you want to go ahead and ask the 1-point question?
Gladly. The 1-point question is as follows. Who voices a Marvel main character and plays an Epic Adventures title character?
If there was a movie made about you, would you just call it Tuig?
I guess it would depend on the plot.
4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
All right. That is your third repeat.
Question again. Who voices a Marvel main character and plays Epic Adventures title character?
Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
All right. That is the second repeat for Rule.
Your question again. Who voices a Marvel main character and plays an Epic Adventures title character? Was that their second repeat?
Yes, they used one in round 2 on that last question in round 2.
Cool.
So. When I said the dumb thing about how, or both, even though there's another character with the same last name, yeah. And then you looked at me like absolutely not, and then yeah.
And I corrected it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Kaiser.
What the fuck? Martin Freeman?
Let's go to Amaru.
I said Anya Taylor-Joy.
The answer is Tom Hardy.
Wait, Marvel title character?
Ah,
Venom.
yeah.
Venom.
Yeah. Damn.
And Mad Max Fury is Max. Yeah.
He's Mad Max.
Wait, do you say voices, Marvel?
He did. He
Wow,
did.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he
I thought
voices
about him,
Venom
but-
too, Kaiser.
He voices Venom.
Oh, that's
Wow, that's a tricky ass one for a one. I'll tell you.
Yes, it is.
All right. 2-pointer going to Robert and Jacoby. The question is, who plays an MCU Titan and a Galaxy Quest's Kaladin soldier? Gotta get that venom.
Yeah, come get him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Jacoby. I think you are muted, and I cannot.
For Russell, but I'm wrong.
Let's go to Robert.
Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin is correct for 2 points. We will now move on to the 3-pointer, which you guys can work together on. Nick, whenever you're ready, read that question.
Your 3-point question is as follows. Who plays a DC commissioner and a Law and Order chief? Also, only one of them is answering correct.
Well, yeah, I would assume it's the answerer for the.
Do
What
they know?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
They can't all 4 write stuff on their board.
Why not? Well, I mean, we're only going to take one, but I meant with the, like if they're taking notes and stuff, like right now, yeah, I don't see why.
It's fine. We just need to denote who's.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
All right, that's the 3rd repeat for Rule.
Question again. Who plays a DC commissioner and a Law and Order chief?
Does anybody affectionately referred to you as Chief?
Not affectionately. It's usually like some adult when I'm a youngin' and they're like, listen here, chief.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We are going to start. Who's the answerer for Rule? Robert. Okay, what you got?
Philip Baker Hall.
And River Rue?
Pat Hingle.
Pat Hingle is the correct answer. So that's a big 3 points for River, getting their total up to 23. Rule still in the lead with, with 18 to Rule's 23. Is that what you have, Nick?
I have 19 to 23.
It's 19. They had 16 before, so
cool. That's why we do this. 19 to 23. All right.
We have a. Do we have one?
Oh my God! Yes, we do. It's a 23-19. Holy shit! 23-19. We have a 23-19. Well, that was exciting. Everyone else figured it out before me, but that's usually how life goes. Let's get into round number 4. Nick, how's round number 4 going to work?
Round number 4 is going to work like this. It is the deep cut round. We have 10 films drafted by the teams you see before you. Each film has had 5 questions written at a deep cut level. That means they're really hard. You should have seen the movie if you hope to get these correct. We're going to spin the wheel 5 times to get 5 questions. Each team can answer together. Each question's worth 2 points apiece. 15 seconds, write it on the whiteboard, the whole 9.
Yeah. All right. The movies on the wheel for the deep cut round are Black Panther, Hoppers, Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, Dogman, The Mummy, The Lion King, Blue Beetle, Red, 09 Friday the 13th, and The Conjuring Last Rites. The first spin for the deep cut round is in, and it lands on The Lion King. All right. I'm assuming Robert and Amaru will continue to be the answerers. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Your first question in The Lion King. What is the first type of animal to bow before Simba at the beginning of the film? You ever bow to anyone?
Bow to no one.
That's fair.
Except to my back.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with rule of 2.
It's a giraffe.
Let's go to River.
Zebra.
Zebra.
Let's go.
Another big 2 points there. Let's bring it back in the wheel. And here's the spin for question 2, which is coming from The Mummy. Nick, you want to go ahead and ask that question?
Yes, your question is, Evelyn tells Rick that the only thing that scares her about him is what?
I
got it.
I think that was the Robert. We can hear you, by the way.
Yes,
I
we
think
can.
that was
Oh.
the not for the whole time, just at the end there
Okay.
when you said,
Yeah.
"I got it." 5.
So now they know you've got it.
2.
They have it
1.
too. It's fine.
Hands down. Let's go to River
His manners.
and Rule.
His manners.
His manners is correct. All right, bring back the wheel for another spin. Coming from Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit. All right, guys, your question. What is the first name of Chevron's assistant? How'd I do on that one?
Sheridan?
Sheridan? Shit.
Yeah.
I tried.
Your shirt describes how I felt last night.
Yeah. After we got off call, I sat and watched an episode of The Office and ate popcorn in sadness, and then I got back to work.
I finished a tub of ice cream.
5. I needed a few minutes before I started writing questions. 1. Pens down. Let's go to rule 2.
Katya
and River.
We put Dimitri.
Katya is correct. So right now I have Rule in the lead with 27 to 20.
That's what I asked.
She had those 3 points. We should have really just said that.
We can still hear you, Robert.
What? God damn it. Sorry.
I thought it
Next
was...
question's coming from Red. Take it away, Nick.
Robert, would you like to talk just to make sure? I think you're fine, but okay, you're good. Perfect. All right, your question in red. Victoria tells Frank that he is what on the inside? Yeah, no, I finished a whole thing of ice cream. And then I was like, I'm sorry. It's like, it's okay.
Maggie came and sat right next to me. She knew how pissed I was. At one point, she goes, "Everybody hurts." I was like, "Fuck off." 5, 4,
yeah,
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to River.
He's gooey.
And Rule.
Yeah, he's gooey.
Gooey is correct. All right, one more spin for this round. And it's coming from Blue Beetle. All right, guys, your question from Blue Beetle is, what specifically does Carapax max out in his suit in order to self-destruct? Did you watch anything while you ate the ice cream, or did you just sit there in silence, like in the dark?
We put something on. Can't remember what it was. Clearly, I was blinded by rage.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Rule.
Is that aggression?
Let's go to River.
His energy reactor.
Energy reactor is the correct answer. So at the end of round number 4, the champs are in the lead with 29. In second place, obviously, because there's only 2 teams here. We have River with 27. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim. It's a 2-point
Holy
game.
shit! It's a 2-point game. This is kooky. All right, let's get into round number 5. What is it, Nick? I'm not...
Round number 5 is going to work like this. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. Once the teams hear the category, they can choose who will take the question. The other player will have to take question 2. They can reset for questions 3 and 4, and teams can confer on the 5th and final question. Once they hear the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they'll gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have reached the end of the match. Teams, any questions as we get into round number 5?
Okay. First category that you guys can bet points on is Criminal Underworld. Let's get bets starting with Rule 2. Who's taking it and how much are you betting?
I am taking it for 1.
Okay. And River, who's taking it?
I'm taking it for 2.
All right. Your question in the category Criminal Underworld. In Ballerina, what kind of weapon do Eve and Dex duel each other with, which Eve also uses to kill many soldiers at the end of the film? Question about a duel. Duel of Fates. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Remember the whole...
Yeah, I do. We don't have anything for that this time.
No.
If we did, you could have just like put Brittany and Tyler's face like in the one.
5, 4, 3. Maybe next year. 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Kaiser.
I don't remember. I said a sword.
And Amaru.
Flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers is the correct answer. So with that, River has taken a 1-point lead, 29-28. Jacoby and Robert have to take the next category. What is it, Nick?
Category is American Spies.
Let's get bets starting with Jacoby.
2 points.
Okay, and Robert.
2.
That was enthusiastic. All right, Nick, what's the question?
Your question in American Spies. Who plays Dita Mandy, the official who coordinates the crisis center for Bayer in The Bourne Legacy? Excuse me. I know we're on question 2, but this is tense.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the name Dita.
Also, quite rude of you not to say bless you to Robert. But...
When did he, what? Pens down. Let's go to Jacoby.
Gemma Chan.
And Robert.
I said Donna Murphy.
Donna Murphy is the correct answer. So Rule will take back the lead. Back and forth. That is 30-27 now in favor of Rule. We'll reset. Next category. is DC. Let's get back starting with Rule 2. Who's taking it and how much?
My enthusiasm hasn't waned. 2.
All right. And River.
2.
All right. Your question in the category of DC. In which DC film does the main hero meet their child without knowing that it is actually their child?
In that little break, you asked me how Anna was doing, and she said, like in the match, and you said she was doing well. I bet I could ask her the last question, and she would not get it correct.
The one we just asked earlier?
Correct. Like the previous question.
Yeah, that's fair. Anna, if you remember the answer to the last question we asked, put it in the private chat.
Not a chance.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Robert.
I said Superman Returns.
And Amaru.
I said the Batman.
And your winners, and still Fandom Fight Teams champions, Rule of 2. The answer was Superman Returns. Listen, really great game, Nick, because coming out of round number 1, there was a little bit of a gap, an even bigger gap, not even coming out of round 2, but like after that River spin, it kind of looked like, oh, maybe this could have been a KO situation. They fought back really well, took it down. They had the lead at one point. It was really exciting. It just goes to show you that you can never count out any of these people, but especially Rue and Jacoby. What do you think of the match?
Yeah, no, great match overall. Like you said, back and forth. One team misses the 2-pointer, the next one hits the 3-pointer. It was back and forth the whole time. They were missing questions that the other team was getting. Like I said, this was a very evenly matched competition. Rue hits that question. We go on to the next one. It could have very well flipped back again. We have no idea. It's just the nature of what it was. It was kind of whoever slipped first was going to end up losing. And most teams that are down that much don't come back and actually retake the lead at any point. So the fact that River did that, it just shows you, again, how great both these two teams are. Congrats to Rule. Glad they got a defense under their belt. And yeah, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting that Wrong Side of the River would be back in the title ring rather soon.
Yeah, that's going to do it for us at this match, but not for the event. Still have more to come. We got that singles triple threat for the vacant belt. Going to be very exciting. That's up next. And that's going to do it, though, for this match. So thank you to Jacoby and Rue. Thank you to Robert and Kaiser. Thank you to Nick. And why not? Joe and Hobby, too. They're cool. We'll see you guys next time. More Fandom Fights. Until then.
There's two ways to looking at it. I think there's the negative way and the positive way. The negative way is to forlorn or to be really sad about the fact that I think every answer that the other one took, the other person knew. Like it happened for all of it. For the 1, the 2, and then for that question right there. That's what happens, and we can be really sad about that. Or on the flip side, we can look at it as we have the potential. Like we could have won. Like, which is, I know it's a bad consolation prize. Winning is better, but like that's how I want to try to view it. That like we were there, the knowledge was there. It was just the switching of the questions. You know,
this is one of those that like we'll look back on it, and I'm happy we won. We just made a bunch of mistakes.
I'm sad that I couldn't help you get there. You killed it much more than I did on round 1. I will never stop playing this game, but man, am I tired of being the LeBron James to everybody else's fucking Michael Jordan and getting to every single title match and not getting it.
What I'm very proud of is that like my hesitancy on betting on those 2 questions I got was real, because those are not great categories for me. I just know the cast of Born Legacy. Donna Murphy is a filmography question I've written for us.
It's always the wrong place or the wrong time, or again, the wrong person answering the question. So I'm hoping we get another shot or another road to a shot this year. I don't know if that's in the cards or not. Again, always great playing with you. Love playing with you.
Never in a million years did I believe that they couldn't come back. And it's also compounded by the fact that we had a 7-point deficit in our last match against them. So we know what it takes. So all the credit to Jacoby and Root. It kept us on our heels the whole time, and I was literally like, we're going to lose this match, which is fine. But I'm so happy we kind of snatched it back. And I think that means that, and I'll stop talking here and Kaiser can add to it because I'm going on. I think it just means we have a good, like, championship constitution. And I'm happy about that for the future.
Just, man, that never, I can't put it
So
together.
close.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, but the ups of it was so fun. When we got a question that they didn't, that put us up a little bit, like, that's exciting, and that's why we love this game.
Credit to Robert, honestly, from round 3 onwards, because he was one who got us the points that we needed in round 3, in round 4, and especially in those 2 questions in round 5, which my mind was dancing around Donald Motif, but I don't think I would have gotten there. So I'm glad that Robert did. But even so, that I think that in Horror Icon Song, I contributed, which is surprising, and I contributed in round 1. So it's not like I didn't do nothing. But so I'm glad at how well we worked.
That was ever implied. It's not. This victory doesn't happen without us.
But hats off to them. They obviously played great. They were, they're wonderful guys. I'm very glad that they're the champions. But yeah, and I love playing with you too. But so this was epic, and we'll be back. We'll do this. It'll make the victory all the more sweeter when we do get there again.
Me, I defended with Jake, but we lost that last one, which is one we had in our grasp. When we lost to fucking Coho and Scully. That one bites my ass as much as any loss I've ever had. So defending a second time, I think, would kind of cement us as a really good champion. So that's what I would like to do. Everything after that, to me, is great.
That Brittany is stepping back because she wasn't even supposed to be here in the first place. It's cool. She adds to her legacy, but we do have a vacant belt now, and that's exciting. We are doing the second Triples Crown tournament, so 9 matches in round 1, all triple threats. 3 matches in round 2, all triple threats. The finals will be a triple threat final as well. And fun fact, that triple threat final will be for the vacant belt.
As I said before, fortune favors the bold. This is my first Fandom singles title match ever, and I am terrified and excited at the same time. I am not going to miss a single question tonight because I've been playing on fire. I am unstoppable. Joe and Igor can suck it, but they're also really good guys. But I'm excited to play them. It's an honor, but I also want to crush them into dirt.
Here for a title match, playing my good buddy Joe, who is absolutely not terrifying at all, and playing Jacoby, who's made it all the way here. Congrats to him, and he is going to be a good challenge as well.
This entire tournament, Igor has been the upset king. Tyler's not here to bounce him off. It is his time. Let's fucking do this.
Alright, let's do this one last time. I just took a step back. I've not been studying as much, and yeah, I still find myself at a title match. Jacoby beat Igor and I in teams with him and Rue. And Igor took Tyler further than I have recently when he last played the title match. So I think, even though this is for a vacant belt, if Jacoby or Igor wins tonight, I don't want to hear any paper champion talk because I've been here enough times that I think winning this earns them every respect.
Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fandom Fights. We're here for a triple threat team. teams match, triple threat singles title match. Nick, oh hey, you're Nick. I'm Tim. Welcome to the match. I have many questions, Nick, and you're the expert, so I'm gonna throw them at you. Question number 1: were Igor and Spence a team?
Yeah, they were called the Book of Morbin.
I believe it though. It's so
Great.
I'm so exhausted. And then Jacoby is very funny. You agree? Fact check, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then Joe said he's been here many times before. Fact check, I think, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, how'd they all get here today, though? That's what I want to know.
To answer your question, I have a different thing playing in my head. So, but thank you for it. What a gregreat question. Here at Duel of the Fates 2, wrapping up Duel of the Fates 2, how they all got here is really a tale of this year, Tim. This year has been quite unexpected in many ways. Igor unexpectedly, wins MVP at Last One Standing, swoops in for his first title shot earlier this year, barely loses to then champion Tyler Birch. Brittany Tapley shows up out of nowhere, wins the Last One Standing, then wins the belts, dethrones Tyler, plays Antonio, drops the belt. She was never supposed to be here in the first place. She did more than her duty, and gracefully exited, leaving a vacant belt for this summer tournament, meaning the finals of the tournament, which you're seeing right now, would be for the vacant singles title. So not only does the winner today win the tournament, win the triple threat tournament, the second one ever, they also become the new champion. Now, very interesting trio we got here. There are 27 possible options. You have Joe, former 2-time champion, some would say on the way out, on the way down, and by some I mean him, because he told us a lot that he doesn't study anymore. But all that knowledge is still up there. You got Igor, who's in his prime for a belt, is one of the best to never win the belt. Him and Rue and you, I would say, kind of fighting for that title. Could this be the time he gets it? And then you have the wildest of wild cards in Jacoby. Former team's champion, so he's no stranger to the title arena, but yes, it's his first title shot. All three of these guys are potential champions at completely different points in their career, and I'm excited to see which will win out today.
Yeah, I think you said it great. I think I could say any of their names at the end of this, and I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into it. Starting with round number 1, Nick. How's that going to work?
Round number 1 is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we'll stay pens down, at which point the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece. Should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 4 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of this here title match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 1?
Good luck, everyone.
Jacoby, yes, you have a question.
But I like a real question. Does Nick sound really, really loud and Tim sound quiet to you guys as well?
Yes.
Interesting.
All right, we fixed that problem. All right, let's kick it off with question number 1. Nick, take it away.
Question number 1 will come in the category of YA. In Twilight Eclipse, Jasper tells Bella that he left his newborn army when he met whom? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. Okay. Wasn't quite sure. So.
Yeah, I think it fits. I don't know what problem you're talking about, Tim. No one noticed a problem. So.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, except for I'm probably going to leave in the part where Jacoby asks a question. I'm like, yeah, you cut around.
Wait.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Carlisle.
Let's go to Igor.
I had Carlisle.
And let's go to Jacoby.
I said Alice.
Alice is the answer we have.
Imagine if he wins.
All right. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next question in the category of James Bond. In which James Bond film does M watch the MI6 building explode from a distance?
Based on that reaction, my assumption would be that Jacoby considers himself maybe an underdog in this match. But he did just beat them recently as a team. He had a partner as well.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. I thought that it was exciting.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 pens down. Let's go to Igor.
Skyfall.
Let's go to Jacoby.
Skyfall.
And Joe.
Skyfall.
Skyfall is correct. Clean sweep. What's next, Nick?
Your next question will come in the category of Disney animation. Your question is, who voices Jesus, a lizard who gives Nick and Judy information in Zootopia 2?
Do you like how I spelt out Jesus?
You're annoying.
I didn't know if you were going to say Jesus.
It's fine.
Who voices
When
Jesus?
you wrote it, it's Jesus. Like you wrote ZOOS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zoos.
it's fine. It's fine. I figured it out. Why didn't they call this movie Two-topia?
1 pens down. Let's go to Jacoby.
Is it Danny Trejo?
Let's go to Joe.
Alan Tudyk.
And Igor.
Haven't seen this yet, but Pedro Pascal is in everything.
Danny Trejo is the correct answer. So Jacoby expands his lead 3-1 to 1. Your next question is in the category of Galaxy Quests. In Prometheus, Ford is a crew member of the Prometheus with what position on the ship? Never mind. Yeah. I didn't want to be weird about it. 5, 4, 3.
My hand's heavier now, that's all.
1 pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Pilot.
Let's go to Igor.
Doctor.
And Jacoby.
I couldn't name any other position, so I said pilot.
Doctor, medic is correct. So Igor will hit that one. Your next question coming from Nick.
It's in the category of Pixar. In Toy Story 3, while descending into the incinerator, other than Buzz, which other toy does Woody hold hands with before being saved by the aliens?
Oh, that's a great question.
I was watching the movie and I was like, I am going to write this. Last we spoke, you didn't like the feeling. How are we feeling?
It's not that I didn't like it. It's just new.
I meant being married in general. I wasn't talking about the ring. I was just saying in general. 5.
Yeah, no.
4, 3,
I don't know.
2.
I know what I signed up for.
Pens down. Let's go to Igor.
It's been a while. I said Bo Peep.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I don't think it would be Jesse, so I said Ham.
Let's go to Joe.
Slink.
Slinky is correct. So Joe ties up Igor. Jacoby still has a 1-point lead. Your next question is coming in the category of Marvel. In The Amazing Spider-Man, what did Peter try to buy from a bodega the night Ben was killed?
Say what specifically?
Sure. Yeah.
Is it specific?
Specific,
I was about to
please.
do
Yes.
my best Panamanian. How specific?
Yeah, how specific?
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to come over here?
Generally specific.
Oh my goodness.
I don't want to be getting my hugging this one now.
4, 3.
Yes, I agree.
1 pens down. Let's go to Jacoby.
I said chocolate milk.
Let's go to Joe.
Chocolate milk.
And Igor.
I said sub sandwich.
Milk, chocolate milk, I believe, is correct.
It is chocolate. Just needed milk. Wanted more than drink. But chocolate milk is correct. Yeah.
Don't throw me off. That's super specific. When you
I
said
just
milk over
know
chocolate
someone's
milk.
gonna be like liquid, and it's like go screw yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna pause for 1 second. All right, next question is coming from Nicholas.
Your next question will come in the category of Fight Night. In which Fight Night film is the main character introduced to kata training?
I added the points afterwards, but I have Joe at 3, Igor at 2, Jacoby at 4.
That's what I have, Tim.
Beautiful. What shirt? What is that new? Looks
No,
new.
I got it from a concert at one point. Yeah.
Ooh.
Just
5.
threw it in. We have a lot of laundry backed up.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with, I don't remember where we are, so I'm going to say Joe.
The Karate Kid Part 2.
Let's go to Igor.
Karate Kid Part 2.
Dang it.
And Jacoby.
I said Karate Kid Part 3.
The answer we have is Karate Kid Part 3.
Yeah, it's the stick things. It's the that Terry Silver does. Thanks, It Man.
All right. Next question is coming in the category of the Worlds of DC. Who plays Metamorpho in 2025's Superman? Or as I put it in the doc, in 2025.
Yeah. The new one, trash, yeah?
It's not good, Nick. It's not good. It has its fans, but I'm not one of them. 5.
Okay, I think I'll wait.
3,
So
2,
it's
1. Pens down. Let's go to Igor.
I think his name's Anthony Kerrigan.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I also have Anthony Kerrigan.
And Joe.
Nope.
Anthony Kerrigan is correct. Your next question is coming from Nick.
It's in the category of sci-fi icons. In Back to the Future Part 2, what is the name of Marty and Jennifer's son in 2015?
These movies.
What were you doing in 2K15?
Much, Tim. I believe that was my sophomore year in college. And I didn't do
beer pong.
No, I hadn't reached that stage of life.
Oh, that was a like a junior senior year
I
situation.
believe I was watching a lot of movies on my portable DVD player in my dorm room.
2, 1. Pens down. Naturally. Let's go to Jacoby.
Marty Jr.
Let's go to Joe.
Marty McFly Jr.
And Igor.
Okay, I thought it was crazy. Marty Jr.
Marty Jr. is correct. Marty McFly Jr. So going into the final question, Jacoby leads 7 to Joe and Igor's 4. The final question is in the category of the MCU. In Fantastic Four First Steps, Sue is a diplomat in a foundation called what? We watched this movie at your wedding.
This is true.
Yep. Had it on during the ceremony, like on my.
Some people did.
That's true. Just not. I don't think it was
not this movie, but some people were watching the World Cup in church.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
The Future Foundation.
And Igor.
And I couldn't remember. Future Forward.
And let's go to Jacoby.
Future Foundation.
The Future Foundation is correct. So at the end of round number 1, I have Jacoby in the lead with 8. In second, Joe with 5. And in third, Igor with 4. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, let's get into round number 2. It's the wheel round. How's it going to work, Nick?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 10 fandom categories on it. No spinners or opponent's choice. No one requested it, but there's multiple people here, so that's why we don't have that. Each player is going to get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they could choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll get 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like check down a multiple choice. At which point, it'll only be worth 1, but be on the lookout if stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, what's on the wheel today?
On the wheel today, we have Law & Order, Pixar, Horror Icons, The Paranormal, Epic Adventures, YA, American Spies, Galaxy Quests, Jimmy B, and the MCU. Jacoby, you're in the lead. Do you want to spin or defer to Joe?
Let's ride the high. Follow the momentum. Let's spin first.
Wow. Okay. Jacoby. Oh,
no.
I just went to the wrong wheel. 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right.
No bond. No bond. No bond.
And it lands on Pixar. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I should take that. I'm going to take that.
Okay. Nick, do you want to go ahead and read Jacoby's questions in the category of Pixar?
Gladly. Jacoby, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of Pixar. Are you prepared for them?
Watched like half of them, so let's hopefully ask that half. Yes, go.
Right. For the record, I do not know which half he's referring to, but Jacoby, your first question. Which Pixar film features the main characters unknowingly sneaking into a summer camp and then in turn having to work together in order to escape?
Underrated. Monsters University.
Agreed, and that is correct for 2 points. Jacoby, your second question. Which comedian voices Trixie the Triceratops in Toy Story 4?
Kristen Shaw. Shaw.
That's correct for 2.
I don't know.
I assume the first way you said it was correct. All right. Jacoby, your third question in Pixar. In what city does Lightning's race take place where he crashes, ending his season early in Cars 3?
Ooh. Ooh. Into season early.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice, please.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, San Diego, B, Los Angeles, C, San Francisco, or D, Long Beach?
I don't remember. Is there a big city where they have races? Los Angeles.
That's correct for 1 point. Did you Google some California coastal towns there, Tim? Jacoby, your penultimate question in Pixar. What is Wade's last name in Elemental?
Wade. His name. Okay. This is whole family. Wade. It's not just one.
5, 4.
I love you, Wade. Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Wave, B, Ruffle, C, Ripple, or D, Dribble?
I love you, Wade. Can I get the options one more time, please?
Yep. Your options again are A, Wave, B, Ruffle, C, Ripple, D, Dribble.
I'll go D.
D is incorrect. Joe and Igor chance for the 1 point seal. Your options again are A, Wave, B, Ruffle, C, Ripple, D, Dribble.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Ripple. C.
And Igor.
C. Ripple.
C is correct.
Don't put Ripple and Dribble in multiple choices. For you. Okay.
Sorry.
Jacoby, your final question in Pixar. In The Incredibles, on what part of his body does Syndrome wear his remote control that he uses to power the Omnidroid?
His wrist.
That's correct. For 2. I thought you were trying to show us, and that was your answer.
I was trying to remember him doing it. Yeah.
Wrist is correct for 2 more points.
All right, so at the end of Jacoby's spin, I have him getting his total up to 15 with the steal, Joe at 6, and Igor at 5. Is that what you have?
That's what I have, Tim.
Okay, we'll bring back the wheel. Joe, I'll bring in your manager. Do you want to spin or defer to Igor?
It's not the worst wheel.
You can take the spin.
Yeah, I'll take the spin.
Okay, this is going to be the spin for Mr. Fairley. And it lands on American Spies. Would you like to keep it or spin again?
I do like it. But it is probably Igor's best category. So for steals.
It's Igor's category. I count maybe 4 things better on here for you.
Yeah. 2 titles was all I wanted. Spin again.
Okay. This is going to be what you are stuck with, and it's Law and Order.
Cool.
All right. Joe, I'll be giving you your questions in the category of Law and Order. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Your first question. In which Law and Order film is a TV personality killed with a C4 explosive under their vehicle? Multiple choice. All right, your multiple choice options are A, Lethal Weapon 3, B, The Deadpool, C, 2014's RoboCop, or D, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yeah, I should have gone with my gut. The Deadpool.
That is correct for 1 point.
That car chase is ridiculous, by the way.
All right, Joe, your second question. Who plays Ellis DeWald, head of Wonderworld Security in Beverly Hills Cop 3?
No, and I hear it multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Hector Elizondo, B, Alan Young, C, Timothy Carhart, or D, John Saxon.
C.
C is correct for 1 point. All right, Joe, your third question. What rank does Rita have in Bad Boys for Life?
Lieutenant.
That is correct for 2 points. Your penultimate question. In Rush Hour 2, after running through Hong Kong naked, Carter returns to the massage parlor to get what personal item of his?
Wallet.
That is incorrect. Everyone else, chance for a 2 points team. You laughing because naked?
I noticed something funny, but I don't want to say anything.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Yet.
1. Pens down. Let's start with Igor.
Is it badge?
And Jacoby.
I said passport.
Passport is the correct answer. 2 point steal for Jacoby there. Joe, your final question in Law and Order. In 1987's RoboCop, what is RoboCop's second directive? Five.
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, uphold the law, B, serve the public trust, C, shut down in the event of the arrest of an OCP officer, or D, protect the innocent.
D is in Delta.
That is correct for 1 point.
I knew serve public trust was the first one.
All right, so at the end of round number 2 for Joe, he gets his total up to 11 with the steal, Jacoby at 17, and Igor still at 5. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
Okay, we're going to bring back the wheel and Adelaide Spence for Igor. This is going to be your spin, Mr. Costa.
Nick, what was funny?
Lands on Wyatt.
I think you can do better.
Yeah, I gotta shoot. I'm a bit behind. I need something good. Let's spin again.
Okay,
I got faith in you.
Stuck with free respin. And it's a free respin. Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God.
God damn it. It's all Jacoby's fault somehow.
All right, it lands on MC.
All right, you can do this. Take your time.
Yeah.
All right, Nick, you want to go ahead and read Igor his questions in the category of MCU?
Gladly, Igor. I'll be giving you questions in the category of the MCU. Are you prepared for them?
Sure.
Your first question. Which MCU film opens in 1990s Ohio?
I have a guess, but I'll be safe. Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Captain America: Brave New World, B, Eternals, C, Captain Marvel, or D, Black Widow?
Say Black Widow.
That's correct for 1 point.
That was not my initial guess. So good.
Igor, your second question. Who plays Maria Stark in Captain America Civil War?
Hope Davis.
That's correct for 2 points.
Damn.
Igor, your third question. Which realm is Thor fighting on when we first see him in Thor the Dark World?
Five, 4, 3.
I gotta risk it. Vanaheim.
That is correct for 2 points.
Did Joe just say bitch?
Igor, your penultimate question in the MCU. In the Avengers, who discovers...
Oh, hang on. There you go.
Great. Igor, your penultimate question. In the Avengers, who discovers from Selvig that the scepter is what is needed to close the wormhole?
Five, 4, 3.
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice options are, is it A, Nick Fury, B, Hawkeye, C, Black Widow, or D, Maria Hill?
Five.
Say Black Widow.
That is correct for 1 point. Igor, your final question in the MCU. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, what is the name of the organization led by the High Evolutionary?
Five, 4, 3.
Remember if that's the name of his organization. Multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are, is it A, Midnight Angels, B, Star Force, C, Ox Group, or D, Orgo Corp?
That is what it was. Orgo Corp.
That is correct for 1 point and a sweep of the MCU.
All right. So at the end of round 2, for everyone, I've got Jacoby in the lead with 17. Igor in second with 12. Joe in third with 11.
That's what I have, Tim.
All right. Let's get into round number 3. Nick, how's it going to work?
Your round number 3, it's going to work like this. It's the filmography round. Oh, wow. It's been a while. It's the filmography round. 3 questions valued at 1, 2, and 3 point apiece. The questions are, there's going to be 2 clues to a Phantom actor or actress. 15 seconds to write your answer down. You get it correct, you get the point value. You don't get a value. You don't get a correct value. Yeah, you don't get it correct. You don't get the points, and then round 4 is after.
All right. Here we go. Nick, if nobody has any questions, do you want to go ahead and ask the players the 1 point question?
Absolutely. Your 1 point question in round number 3 is as follows. Who voices a criminal underworld villain turned father and a DreamWorks squirrel?
Value.
I don't know what accent I adopted during
Yeah,
that.
I liked it. I think you should
Value.
stick with it. I think you should move with it, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Steve Carell.
Igor.
Steve Carell.
And Jacoby.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell is correct. Gentlemen, your 2 point question in the filmography round. Who plays an MCU villain and an Epic Adventures Soviet villain?
Recently rewatched Dinner for Schmucks.
that the one with Paul Rudd and
the guy from the last question?
Yeah. I couldn't remember. For some reason, I always got that and Dan in real life confused, even though they're like not the same at all. 5, 4, 3.
Never seen that one.
2.
Repeat. We'll take a
All right,
repeat.
that's going to be Jacoby's first repeat. Your question again: who plays an MCU villain and an Epic Adventures Soviet villain?
To answer the manager's question.
okay.
So when it's sometimes at night, I don't want to just like throw it. Sometimes I want to put a movie on and I'm scrolling, but I'm tired. So I'm like, oh, and I find something and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember I saw this once. I thought it was kind of funny. And then I'll watch like 20 minutes of them, fall asleep, and then I have to finish it the next day. It's like
5, 4, 3, 2.
But I also kind of like the Nerf.
Down. Let's go to Igor.
I always get Dan in real life and Lars and the real girl mixed up. Kate Blanchett.
Jacoby.
I almost had Matt Mickelson. Glad I checked. Kate Blanchett.
And Joe.
Yeah, Ray Winston was only working with Soviets. Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is correct. So everyone hits that one. Nick, you want to go ahead and give him the 3-pointer?
Your 3-point question is as follows. Who voices a creature features alien and a Pixar alien?
Are you trying to think of the...
It's been a while. It's been a very busy...
I couldn't tell if you were like, what was going on. I saw some steam coming up.
There was some steam coming, yes.
I was trying to think.
I would be losing this match, Tip. Let's put it down.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, Jacoby. Let's start with you.
Hope his character in Mutant Turtles is the alien, Brad Garrett.
Let's go to Joe.
Brad Garrett.
And let's go to Igor.
Brad Garrett.
Brad Garrett is correct. Yeah, Kang. He's
Yeah, I got
Kang. Yeah, there it is.
Krang.
Anyway,
Well, that was a pointless round.
Yeah.
Krang. Yeah, not Kang. Krang. Thank you, Igor. Thank you. Anyway, so at the end of this round, everyone sweeps. Jacoby still has the lead, 23-17, very close. And Joe with 16. Is that what you have, Nick?
No. I have Joe with 17, Igor with 18, Jacoby with 23.
Yeah,
I also have
Jacoby should be 5 ahead of Igor and 6 ahead of me.
Yeah.
Yep. You right. Okay, cool. All right. Phenomenal. Nick, round number 4.
Round number 4 is going to work like this. It is the betting round. We have drafted 9 films.
It's not the betting round.
Don't screw me up.
Sorry. It's betting because you're betting on yourself. I don't know. Round number 4. It's going to work like this. It is the deep cut round. I've been busy. All right. The deep cut round is going to work like this. We have drafted 9 films. Bit of an odd situation. Usually it's 8 in a singles match, 10 in a teams match. There's 3 of them here. Each of them drafted 3 categories and chose 3 films to be put on the deep cut wheel. We've written 5 questions about each film at a very difficult level. We're going to spin the wheel 5 times to get the 5 questions, and each question will be worth 2 points apiece. 15 seconds to write down your answer, so on and so forth. Then we move on to round 5.
All right, the categories or the movies on this wheel are Finding Nemo, John Wick, Black Panther, Return of the Jedi, The Mummy, The Hunger Games, Blade, 1995's Mortal Kombat, and Jaws 3. And I don't remember which one of you picked Jaws 3, but
you kind of ruined a good thing there.
You.
You guys had a good thing going, and then you ruined it.
Not a fun time.
Welcome to my
Anyway,
life.
here we go. The first spin is in.
You jinxed it, you bastard.
Jaws 3. All right, guys, your first question in the deep cut round from Jaws 3 is: how long have Catherine and Michael been together? Yeah, this movie's bad.
Yeah.
There's
But
some
it
back
was
pretty
in
far.
3D.
Yeah. 5,
That
4, 3,
Look.
2,
Never
1.
mind.
Hands down, Joe. We'll go to you.
A year and a half.
Let's go to Igor
1.5 years.
and Jacoby.
Year and a half.
Year and a half is correct. All right. Bring back the wheel. This will be the spin for question 2. Brought to you by Johnny Walker. It's coming from Finding Nemo. Nick, you want to go ahead and read that one?
Gladly, your question in Finding Nemo. What is the name of the tank cleaning machine that ruins the tank gang's escape plan? Excuse me.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I made a lot of quesadillas before we did, except I was gonna have time to sit and eat them, so I made a bunch and then I ate a bunch of them and then left some for my bride. But they're fighting back now.
2, 1, pens down. Let's go to Igor.
Aqua Scum 2003.
Let's go to Jacoby.
Aqua Scum 2003.
And let's go to Joe.
Aqua Scum 2003.
I think we can accept all of those. Yes. 2 points apiece for everybody as we bring back the wheel for question 3. My God, Finding Nemo.
So many fish-related things.
All right, guys, your question. The tank gang witnesses what procedure that causes bloat and gurgle to argue? I heard at the wedding, this is scuttlebutt for anybody that wants the inside scoop of Nick and Anna's wedding. They're planning on naming their firstborn child Gurgle. Gurgle Timothy. Too big, actually. 5.
Yeah,
3, 2.
That's it.
Repeat the question.
All right, that's going to be the first repeat for Igor. Your question again. The tank gang witnesses what procedure that causes bloat and gurgle to argue? We have a match after this, and they're still planning on doing it, but I was just been told that this is a conspiracy against government workers. Because we're keeping Anthony Tisdall waiting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Jacoby.
Bogus. I wrote down what they were arguing about, but I don't know. Was it a root canal?
And Joe. Joe, I think, is muted, but I see what he has. And let's go to Igor.
Extraction.
I had root canal as well.
Root canal is the correct answer. All right. So we are going to bring back the wheel for question 4. And it's going to come from a non-fish related film, Black Panther. Nick, do you want to go ahead and ask that question?
Gladly, your question in Black Panther. What job did Everett have in the Air Force, according to Shuri? Yeah, I don't think. Oh, there's some fish.
Definitely in the sequel.
No. Definitely in the first. I watched it recently. There's some fish.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Flight pilot.
Let's go to Igor.
I just said pilot.
And Jacoby.
It's an Air Force pilot.
Pilot is correct. Air Force pilot, fighter pilot, all correct. So we will bring back the wheel for the last spin of the deep cut round. It's coming from Blade. All right, your question from the movie Blade. At the final battle, Quinn says that he doesn't know which of his 2 new hands he should use to do what? Do you like that? Blade. This was actually a fun one.
It's a good watch.
Yeah, it was fun. It was good. 5, 4, 3, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Igor.
He's holding a knife. Stab you.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I said Killblade with.
And Joe.
Didn't have it.
Kill Blade Whip is the correct answer. So Jacoby hits that. And at the end of round number 4, I have Jacoby in the lead with 33 points. In second, I have Igor with 26. And in third, I have Joe with 23. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right. First category. Round 5. It's a betting round, Nick. This is the betting round. How's it going to work?
Round 5 is going to work like this. It's the betting round. We have 5 more questions that are on the Fandom Fights. Once the players hear the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they'll gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they'll lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we've reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 5?
No.
Great. First category, Tim.
First category is creature features. Let's get bets. Starting with Joe.
2.
Igor.
Let's wrap this up. 2.
Let's go to Jacoby.
I said 0. I don't like this category.
All right.
Behavior.
Oh, that I heard.
There it is.
There it is, baby. All right. Your question in the category of creature features. In war for the planet of the apes, Caesar is fatally wounded by what kind of weapon? Nick. Don't hear it now. If it's
it's going away. I guess the fire's going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Jacoby, who bet 0.
Gun.
Let's go to Joe.
Crossbow.
And Igor.
I had gun.
All right, crossbow was correct. So Joe will hit that, making it 25. Igor misses, goes down to 24. Jacoby remains at 33. Nick, what is the next category?
Next category you bet points on is criminal underworld.
Let's get bets, starting with Igor.
2.
Jacoby.
Sure, 1 point.
All right, and Joe.
2. Can I at least get to 30 points, please?
There's a good chance. Let's see. I don't know.
All right, Nick, this could be it, or we could keep going. We'll find out. Let's figure it out. What's the question?
Your question in criminal underworld. In which criminal underworld film does the main character's nephew bite the ear of a rival after being called a bastard? We're rewatching a show that I hate.
Yeah, I know. You told me about that.
I forgot how much I liked it at the beginning. I'm very much enjoying myself, and I can't wait to be disappointed all over again.
House of the Dragon season 3 rocks. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
Oh, I saw Jacoby
Jacoby
first. That's the
Jacoby
second repeat for Jacoby.
Question again. In which criminal underworld film does the main character's nephew bite the ear of a rival after being called a bastard?
This is another this played out exactly at your wedding too. A lot happened that night.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And you felt great the whole time.
And Caesar was fatally wounded as well.
3, 2, 1.
Read the question.
All right, that's going to be the second repeat for Igor.
Question again. In which criminal underworld film does the main character's nephew bite the ear of a rival after being called a bastard?
There's a lot going on right now.
Tons.
Got messages. Thinking about
tension.
Caesar. What?
Tension as well. There's tension.
Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Igor.
My tired self definitely forgot this franchise was in this category. The Godfather Part 3.
Joe.
Godfather Part 3.
And Jacoby.
Didn't know if to put the part or not, and I did. The Godfather Part 3.
And your winner and new Fandom Fights singles champion, Jacoby Bancroft. Jacoby wins. We're going to take everyone out and talk for a second. We've got more to do, but Nick, we should discuss real quick because not only did Jacoby just win this match against two very, very good players and champions, he did it as the lowest seed. He was the 18th seed in the tournament. So he arguably, looking at the seeds, he had the highest way to climb.
If this was a normal tournament, he wouldn't have even been in it.
That's true. That's true. So kooky stuff. Yeah. I'm super happy for Jacoby. I still think we say this every time. Feel bad for Igor. I want Igor to win this thing, but man alive, I think Jacoby played his ass off. That was crazy. Joe still played great too, 27 points in a title match. And Joe had some misses, but at the end of the day, he always plays great. But Jacoby cements himself as now a former teams champion, but the current singles champion.
Maybe current teams champion. We don't know.
That's true.
Could happen.
What do you think?
Crazy stuff. I'm very happy to hear you say the words, your new champion, Jacoby Bancroft. Definitely earned it. You could tell he prepared his butt off for this match. Like he played one of the more impressive games he's ever played, one of the more impressive games we've seen in a title match. He came in fully focused. He had his usual tics, like his usual, like, oh, I don't think I know this answer, but then he does know it. I'm very, very excited that he's now the champion. I agree with you on Igor's point, but I do think he will be exiting yours and Amaru's club at some point. Cause I think he's officially joined it as like an elite player, played for the title multiple times, has yet to win it. I do think he will exit that club. And Joe, listen, this was a chance for him to become a 3-time champion, but I think he's already accomplished more than most people ever will. He is someone who I think could have lucked, meaning like he didn't prepare as much, but lucked his way into a 3rd championship, as evident by the way he played. He did absolutely amazing. All 3 of them did. I'm so happy for Jacoby. Great stuff.
Nick, if I'm not mistaken, though, somebody has to lose and somebody has to not get a loss on their record. Do we think we should maybe let them play?
We are going to let them play. We're going to go record them finishing the match now. You're going to see the finish of this match Monday on round 4. We're going to air it live. So we'll know who came in 2nd, who came in 3rd. But right now it's all Jacoby, new champion. Great stuff. Great way to end Duel of the Fates Part 2.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Congrats to Jacoby. And thank you to Joe and Igor for playing. We'll see how that wraps up. But also thank you to Alex and Spence. Thank you to Nick. I've been Tim. We'll see you next time. Until then.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy the way that this game goes because, like, a wheel spin or not as many fish movies in the betting or in the deep cuts round, and just like that, you have another champion, a different champion.
Yeah, I think Igor's time is coming. At the end of the day, I think this was Jacoby's game to lose. He played phenomenally. Like he came in with like the opposite of a chip on his shoulder. He was playing with house money, really.
Yeah, obviously no one likes to not win when they're playing, but I've been saying, I said for years that 2 titles in each one, singles and teams. That was my aim to achieve. The opportunity came up for a 3rd. I said, I'll watch these top movies. And I think it showed because Superman, Zootopia 2. These are questions I missed.
Yeah, I don't feel too disappointed. I'm very happy about Jacoby. Honestly, the guy's been putting in work all year, and I've run into him a lot of times this year, and he's been outplaying. So this isn't, honestly, not a big surprise. I came into this match.
I knew that this was going to be the hardest thing that I've ever done. Joe is a legend. Joe, I always used to joke, I'll never win a belt until Joe retires or if any of those retires. And even so, he had to like slow down a little bit for me to catch up, but he is an inspiration for all that he does. So I knew that was tough. Igor's on a tear. Igor is great. I agree with you that Igor's one of the best to never win the belts. So I knew that this was going to be insanely hard. I also know that I have been playing really well this year. Like my last 3 matches, I played lights out in a way that surprised me.
Very disappointed for Igor. He is my teammate. I root for him. I manage him when I'm not playing against him. But I am very happy for Jacoby. I think he played phenomenally. I think the work he put in showed. I think it showed in teams, and I think it showed in singles this season.
Jacoby's got to have my number. I guess in a way he's not even the new Tyler, because Tyler's also kicking my ass this year.
And I think the drive to get here and to continue to do well, to operate at the level that I have been, has always kept me going, because this is a lot of fun, you know, for everything. No matter if that's how much fun I'm having, I'm so sweaty, and I so apologize for that. But this is all about the fun and the chase to get here. That's why it's so exciting. I love getting questions right. I love missing questions that I'm so close on and like not knowing if I got it right or not. And like that's what keeps me coming back. And I will continue to try to do well. I never thought I'd be in a singles. I have a singles belt before my partner Rue. I did not think I would have this before him. But I am just absolutely thrilled. And never give up, kids. You can fly. You can follow your dreams. You watch good movies, and you can get here too one day if you just keep at it for like 6 years. You know, like you'll get here. Oh man.